2. And we are live here once again at In Your Head Wrestling Radio. I am the internet icon, the pride of the pilgrims, the most honest man in all of podcasting, Handsome Jackie Jones. All right, we're here to talk some wrestling, a lot of stuff going on. Summerslam was last week. Ric Flair's final match was last week. I went to Dynamite last week. Dynamite was tonight. The Raw report from Monday, all kinds of stuff going on. So let's get right to it. We got questions from the Headyverse live Wednesday night because I believe him and Juju are doing the D. I mean, they're at Dynamite. So they're saying. I think it's a euphemism, but we're talking here. Let's run down this SummerSlam card. Well, Steven's trying to call in already. We'll wait for him a second. I'll go over Dynamite from last week that I was at, and then we'll go over SummerSlam and stuff with Steven. So last week I was at AEW Dynamite for July 27th at Worcester at the DCU Center, which was a really good show. Well, the Dynamite was really good. We'll talk more about the Rampage and stuff. I know a lot of people, were up in arms about saying it's a failure. Well, I'll say this right away. I've said ever since the dawn of Rampage, it's a terrible time slot. It's like late night Friday. It's a bad idea. I've been to live tapings of Rampage that were really hot, like when Wheeler Yuta became a star. And then I've seen, the very first show wasn't at, but it was amazing with the return of CM Punk. But this one in particular for me was definitely, you could just feel the audience after the Dynamite. Everyone was really into Dynamite. I think that came, I don't know, I didn't watch it on live, but I from what I've seen, people said it was a great show. And so I think our energy came through. But as soon as that was over, like people started to leave, especially when they started announcing the matches for Rampage. And here's the issue. So they record some of the dark stuff, dark and dark elevation before Dynamite. So people are starting to come in, and you're used to going to an event and you see like the preliminary stuff first. So it's like, hey, this is my first time seeing any stars, any wrestlers. So you're going to cheer for them. Then you watch Dynamite, which is the main show when it's live, and you're really into it, especially if it's a hot show. Then after all that's over, they redo the ring. It's a few minute break, and then it's time for Dynamite, which is clearly the B show, and a lot of the stuff on it. Some weeks are better than others. This week it was primarily like stuff that would have been just on dark. It wasn't really anything anyone could really care about. Besides the opening, the best friends match. Rest of it was stuff. I mean, it was just stuff to have a show. I mean, none of it was bad, but it wasn't anything you cared about. So you watch the main show, and then you watch more preliminary stuff, basically. And like after you've watched the main event, you don't want to sit then and watch Ethan Page job match, him, against a job guy. Like, you don't want to see this, or like a 10-minute match with some guys that are fine, but it's not important guys. It's not a good idea to record Rampage after Dynamite. So I think they really need to revamp the whole idea. If you're going to, I would just not even have Rampage in the ideal world. But if you're going to have Rampage, I don't know, record another night, record it in a different building, record it before Dynamite, maybe record it before Dynamite, because then you still have the crowd hot, and then record all the dark stuff somewhere else. I don't know. That you've got to do something different. It's hard to get excited for the show. And a lot of times they just have matches on there that are fine if you just want to watch matches, but they're not stuff you're really going to get excited for. And the Friday night time slots, death. Ratings are a different story today, as I've said many times. You can't necessarily go by ratings, but everything's relative. So if Dynamite's getting what people perceive as much less than what people watch wrestling in the 90s, but at the same time, it's still the number one viewed show, and WWE has much smaller ratings, yet they're making record profits. So with DVR and on demand, actual live ratings are different. Things are seen differently, but still, not a lot of people are watching Rampage, and it's normally not a great show. But Dynamite I really enjoyed. It was a Fight for the Fallen. I'm not sure what is the relevance of Fight for the Fallen. Maybe I should know this. They didn't say it on the show, so what do I know? So we Moxley versus Rush opened the show. This was a hell of a match. Crowd was so into it live. I'm not really familiar with Rush, but hell of a match. You know, this happened last week, so I'm not going to remember everything that happened, but it was really good stuff. I mean, at this point, you kind of know Moxley's not going to lose the title to Rush or like when he fought Brody King, but both have really good matches. And I do like to see some different stuff. It's nice to not always see, you know, the same couple guys wrestling every week. That gets very tedious. So this was fun. Absolute Ricky Starks versus Danhausen. Ricky Starks to me is because the last couple months really become a huge star, and I think they notice that, and they're going to get really behind the guy. Danhausen, I just don't see it. I know a lot of people really like him, and so in my opinion, if people are into somebody and they're over, they sell merchandise, all that stuff, you got to use them. Me personally, I just don't get it. I think he's a very poor wrestler from what I've seen. I don't get the gimmick. I just think it's kind of silly. People tell me it's the same as Orange, but it's not. They're two different gimmicks, and I'm fine with silly gimmicks if I enjoy them. I don't really care for the Danhausen stuff, and I think as far as a wrestler, I think Orange is far better. So Danhausen, every time he wrestles, he basically gets squashed. I just don't really get it. Maybe he'll eventually grow on me, but I'm not getting it at the moment. Ricky Starks looks like a star. His charisma is really shining lately. It's funny, they built Team Taz around Brian Cage originally, and I think he was the dead weight of the team because everyone else has done much better since. So they really put a lot of story into this 1 week. I think it's definitely something you could have dragged out for a while instead of doing it all 1 week. So they teased. First Ricky Starks beat Danhausen, then he's like, I still have some in the tank. Let's do another match. You hear Hook's music and Taz is surprised. So Hook comes down. You know, you would think the Hook finally going for a title, something you build to. But first of all, the FTW title isn't. I don't get it. It was always a joke. Not necessarily a joke, but it was made. It wasn't a real. It was like the $1 million belt. So it would be like if they kept the $1 million belt around and it was just defended all the time. But it was made because Taz was cheated out of the world title. So he's like, screw this, I'm going to make my own, the FTW title. And I never thought it made sense when he brought in for Cage, because Cage wasn't really like screwed out of a title. He just didn't win the title. So it never made a lot of sense. I always thought it actually fits Ricky Stark's heel character better than Brian Cage, because he could be kind of like gloating over a title that really isn't legit, but the commentators always sell it like a real title. So it just became a title that he just defends all the time. I don't get it. And so Hook comes out, and it's a short match, but it's good. Hook's clearly a future star. Starks is a current star, and I think you can really, he can be a top guy. So Hook wins. And then he cuts a great promo afterwards, making himself babyface, Ricky Starks, saying, it's my time and all this stuff. And then Hobbs just beats the hell out of him. So you did all this stuff in one segment. Like you did the Ricky Starks babyface turn. You did the breakup of Team Taz. You did Hook winning his first title. You did the Hobbs turning on Ricky Starks. All this, you could have easily done over several months, but easily at least over a month. Storytelling. I liked it. And I think I would have actually liked to see Starks and Hobbs stay a team for a while. But and I think you're going to have a big star in Starks. Like I said, I rather would have Starks and Hobbs as a team for a while. I just think you really blew through a lot of storylines so quickly. I'm not sure why you did that so all at once, but I'm not mad about it. I like actually all three guys involved, and no more Team Taz at all, which we found out tonight on Dynamite. Dante Martin with Sky Blue versus Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti. Remember, it was weird because Dante backstage was like, I'm bringing out somebody to, level the playing fields. And he brought out Sky Blue. And the audience were just like, who? Nothing against her, but like, if you're going to make a big deal about having someone in your corner, it can't be like Sky Blue. She's fine, but it's not like anyone's going to be really that excited. Fight the Fallen is a charity event. Well, that's good, but they really didn't mention it. At least they didn't mention it live, because I also saw, did they mention a trios tournament? Because they didn't do it at the live show. Was that? But when on the way home, I saw it on the internet, and then they mentioned it on Dynamite tonight. Dante, I'm a big fan of. He suffers from a start and stop push. They get behind him a few weeks and you don't see him for like a month. It's too bad. I actually think he's a talented guy, a good a guy where you could push him on any level because he could get upsets over bigger guys. I don't know. I think he's a good guy. I'm not saying make him world champ or anything, but he's a talented guy. Sammy's great and has a lot of much better as a heel. I'm glad they listened to the fans, because the fans really turned on Sammy when he was with Ty on TV, and instead of fighting it, they just went with it. Backstage, I'm reading this off the AllEliteWrestling.com. Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, Satnam Singh said they had unfinished business with best friends. I like this pairing. I like all three guys together. I don't see Satnam wrestle hardly at all. I think I've only seen him wrestle once. He might have wrestled like a few times, but I've seen him once. He's not embarrassing. I'm not saying I want to see like a 60-minute match with the guy, but he's not nearly as bad as Omos or some other giant dudes. And I like the big giant guy in wrestling in this role. He's the muscle for Dutt. I mean, for both of them, for Lethal. This whole group works. Sanjay, I didn't think would be a good manager, but he's great. And Jay Lethal's it took him a little while, but he's really coming into his own now in AEW. Well, they're letting him do some stuff, and he's really coming off like a star. I thought tonight he really came off like one. Tony Schiavone in the ring with Jungle Boy. I think Jungle Boy's promo's much better lately. I do think this would have been the perfect time to drop the Jungle Boy name and go with Jim Ross, always Sting, Jungle Jack Perry. I think it's hard to be a big top guy with the name Jungle Boy. He's good in the ring, has a lot of charisma. I think you could do a lot with him, but the Jungle Boy name is a hindrance. But him and Christian, I think this is actually, and I didn't think this would be possible in the modern era for me to be interested in Christian, but I'm really interested in this Christian Jungle Boy feud. I think it's some of Christian's best work ever on the mic. Young Bucks backstage. I don't really remember what happened there. Handicap match. Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling versus Swerve Strickland. This is fun, but I don't get the Mark Sterling why he's on TV so much. I don't see anything in the dude. Tony Nese a good wrestler, but definitely lacking charisma. Malachi Black and Brody King. Oh, and they were something about the Redeemer Rusev there. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. Thunder Rosa versus Maya Yamashita. Boy, was Maya Yamashita shitty. She sucked. Watching her live, she was very pitiful wrestler. Very bad. I don't know if she's better in Japan or she had jet lag. I've never seen her before. It's my first time seeing her, and she was not good. Blackpool Combat Club's American Dragon Bryan. Oh, so yeah, this is the main event. The return of Bryan Danielson versus Daniel Garcia. This was awesome, and they did the very shocking. I actually called it. Troy even said like, "Oh wow, I can't believe they did what you said." I thought maybe they'd go because I think everyone assumed it's Bryan Danielson's return. He beats Daniel Garcia, which I'd be fine with, but they played up the concussion. And he did like the collapse, and he lost Bryan Danielson to Daniel Garcia that they're really getting behind. Seen some people mad about this, but I was not against it. I like to see where it goes from here. I don't want to see him just he loses all the time and just collapses. But I want to see what story they tell with it. But I do think that's a big win for Daniel Garcia. Now you could have saved this big win for pay-per-view or something, but they only do 6 pay-per-views a year, or not even that, 3 or 4. So you don't have a lot of them. But it was good. I liked it. I liked the show. I'm gonna go over Rampage for tonight. And then I'll add some callers in, and we'll go over SummerSlam and Ric Flair's last match. All right. So Dynamite tonight was Columbus, Ohio. I believe Juju of the Bees and the Inchman are there, or were there. Well, they might still be there watching Rampage. Orange Cassidy versus Jay Lethal opened up the show. Great match. I've been a big Orange Cassidy fan. And people always said, he's the comedy guy, which he is a comedy gimmick, but he can also wrestle. And I honestly, this last year or two, I think it's hard to argue that he can't wrestle, because he has great matches all the time, especially when he's working with good guys. And you could say, it's these other guys carrying him, but not, you can't just be a bum and get carried to good matches every time. But yeah, this was good. I like the whole Lethal group. The best friends came out on top of each other. Nice little funny segment. Taz said his head popped out of his head because his head came out of the crotch. I thought he was going to say something about the yambag face or something, but we didn't do that. I thought this was a great opener. It was really good. It had some comedy. I think it was a good pairing because Lethal's a serious guy for the most part. He used to do Black Machismo, but he did the really good facials when Orange would do some of the silly stuff. And I like that they use that in the psychology of Orange matches. It's not like he's doing silly stuff and people are selling it. He does the silly stuff to get into people's mind and get them pissed. Takes them off their game. Wardlow came out because Lethal was like, I'm going to break Orange Cassidy's leg unless Wardlow comes out. Wardlow comes out to huge pop. Everyone's chanting Wardlow. And they announced Battle of the Belts, Wardlow versus Jay Lethal for the TNT title. So that'd be cool. Return of Adam Cole, return of the Undisputed Elite. I'm a big fan of Adam Cole. I'm glad to see these guys back. They come out. Adam's just talking about being the leader of the group, which is interesting. And he talked about, they've got the talent, but they need the loyalty. And they talked about the trios tournament. And apparently, was this on TV ever? I don't know when this happened, but the Young Bucks were, I guess they didn't, Cole's not cleared to wrestle, and they didn't pick either the Red Dragon to be their tag partner in the trios tournament. See, so I didn't see this. I don't know if it was on TV and I missed it, or if it was on last week and they didn't air live in the arena. Should have recapped it so I knew what was happening, or if people didn't watch, or maybe it was on internet. I don't know. But so Adam's like, if you don't pick one of us, you guys can't do it. And the Young Bucks just stood there, they didn't even know what was going. It was kind of odd. They kind of no-sold what he's saying, but they were like, the reason why you can't do it because we're gonna hurt you. So they beat up the Young Bucks. I like this. This is good. I would have reversed this though. I would have had the Young Bucks turn on Adam and the Red Dragon, because I think Young Bucks are much better heels. I think they're more unlikable. They make good babyface too, but right now the fans are really into them as heels. And Adam Cole, the crowd, excuse me, the crowd really wants to cheer him. They go crazy for the boom. He's the guy. I think don't fight the crowd, go with them. People want to cheer the guy. I think he'd be better as a face. Red Dragon probably better as heels, but they're kind of second banana really to Adam Cole, so they could go either way, I think. But yeah, I would have done reverse. I would have had Adam Cole and Red Dragon, or at least Adam Cole as the baby face, and Young Bucks as the heels. But either way, I think it's good. Oh, and then They showed a kid in the crowd ball, and actually noticed more children in the crowd this week than normal for AEW. And Hangman Page made the save, which I like. I know some people are against the idea. I like the idea that they're all friends and then they sometimes turn on each other. I think that's kind of realistic too. I will say this though. Come on, Page. What the hell was I thought he's wearing pajama pants, which I'm all for. I'll wear some silly pants, but I'm not saying I'm a fucking cowboy. This is guy's calling himself Hangman, and he's got jeans with like sequin butterflies on them. Like, it's not cool. If he wants to wear them his own life, I think that's cool. I like him. I stand by them, but not for the gimmicks. So possibly Young Bucks and Hangman Page in the trios. That works. Moxie promo, really good promo. He's always a good promo guy, talking about he doesn't care who wins the match later, Yuta, Wheeler, and Jericho. Christian promo, where Jungle Boy drives in again. I think it's a good time to change his name. The next match to me, because there's talks about AEW doing a women's division, and I think it's a bad idea, not because it's women. I think because they only have a select few women that are very good. And so a lot of times I see the women's matches in AEW, and it's sadly not good stuff. And it's not, again, not because of women, because they picked the women that are very good. This was a match that shows how good the women division AEW can be, because all four are really good. You had Britt Baker, I think, is the best in AEW, one of the top probably 3 or 4 in all of wrestling for women, as far as the whole total package, promo, character, charisma, wrestling. She's, to me, right on. I would have, Charlotte probably number 1, but she's right under there. She's, to me, right up there with Becky Lynch and Bailey. Really good stuff. And a better, probably not. She's not as athletic as Bianca Belair, but I think a better talker, better character, because I don't think Bianca really gets her character. But anyway, right up, one of the best. Jamie Hayter, I think, is a really talented wrestler. She has just a good look at stuff. Probably can work on her promos. I don't really remember her doing bad promos. Just she does have the character, obviously. Britt does. Toni Storm is someone I think they need to give a little more TV time to get to know who she is, because she's another really good wrestler and has a great look. Really looks like a star. And Thunder Rosa is great too. So this was a really good match, I think, for the best women. Again, this is awesome, Chant. This is what the women division should be built around, these women and a handful of other ones. And just keep the ones that just aren't TV ready off until either they are ready or they're just not ready and don't use them on TV. It doesn't do any favors to have a bunch of women on just so you have like equal women to men, or you have so many women matches a week. If you put on ones that clearly aren't very good. Also, I gotta say, the runaway there, Ruby Soho, man, they're at first I gave, people saying, oh, they're not using her right because she didn't win the title right away. I don't think she needed to win the title right away, but she loses a lot. She lost on Rampage to Anna Jay, who's not particularly good. She's a little better than some of it, but still not that great. But I don't get it because Ruby Soho was super over. They do not book her well at all. We saw later too, Anna Jay's like new thing is she's choking everybody out, and I don't buy her as this ass kicker is choking everyone out. Taz mentioned no more Team Taz. Hobbs versus Jobber, I didn't get his name. Ricky Starks came out. This is a good segment. Good Darby promo. He's like giving himself a tattoo, and people are mad about Darby losing to Brody King the other week. I didn't have a problem with that, and also it's building up to this match, so you can't just have the one guy win every match in the feud, especially Darby. Darby Allin is not a guy that needs to win every match to get over. He shouldn't get squashed, which he doesn't. He always has competitive matches. Coffin match is coming up next week. Darby versus Brody King. That'll be cool. Jim Ross comes out. We have Christian versus Matt Hardy. Watching this, I had a couple things like, I don't know if this is a good visual for AEW because it's the alternative wrestling. And if you're watching it for the first time, you tune in. There's positives is it's people you recognize. You're like, oh yeah, Matt Hardy, big star, Christian, big star. The issue is they're both guys that this match you would have seen all over WWE TV, like, I don't know, 15 years ago, maybe even 20 years ago. So you watch that and it's like, I'm in a time warp, or is this the company for the old guys? And it clearly isn't. I mean, you have all these other guys in the card. I think it's better to mix these guys, with other people. That being said, it was very good. It was one of Matt Hardy's better matches in AEW, because I'm not really like them. This was good. And Christian has been a good wrestler since he came back. I just haven't cared about him until this heel turn. But this was good. They've worked with each other a lot. Luchasaurus's music comes out, and then that's like a swear Jungle Boy comes out. Christian runs away. They're doing a good job building to this. Like I said, though, I would change Jungle Boy's name. We had a video about Pac defending this title that no one cares of. I don't know. I don't understand this title, why they needed another title. He was defended at Rev Pro. I guess it's an interesting idea for a title that it's defended at other companies, but you should have had another name, maybe. I don't know. I'm not really into it. And then they show Kip Sabian was in the crowd at the Rev Pro. Of all the people to bring back, who gives a fuck about Kip Sabian? No, cut your losses. I'm happy that AEW, I think it's the right thing not to fire people unless they breach your contract or do something terrible. But I do, if you sign someone to a contract, you should honor it just like they honor the contract for you. I applaud AEW for doing that. Instead, you should just like they do. They let people, they don't renew when their contract runs out. But I'm not saying fire Kip Sabian, just never use the guy again. You've got all these other people way better, way more interesting that aren't on TV all the time. We don't need Kip Sabian. The other guy I don't personally need is Ethan Page. I don't care about this guy at all. And this promo, he's just screaming like a maniac. It was odd. He's like, why? I'm not on TV and I have an action figure. Then they start cheering. Then he starts yelling at the fans for cheering. And then the Stokely Hathaway guy comes out. Could not care less about this man. I don't care about this at all. JS promo backstage. My man, Daddy Mac. He's like, what makes Daddy Magic's nipples hard? I was like, this guy fucking awesome. Every time I think you can't get better, and he says something like that. Anna Jay, she's pretty and stuff, but I'm not buying her as this woman who's just going to start choking everyone out, even the dudes and stuff. Come on. Tag team dumpster match. The Gun Club versus the Acclaim. They come on, they take out Billy Gunn. Then the Ass Boys run in, they take both of them out, so then he can cut the rap. Look, was this like picture perfect 5-star classic? Not at all. Was it very fun? Yes. Very fun match. I really like this. To me, this is what AEW should be showcasing. You got two young acts. They're all yours. No one knows them from anywhere else. These are AEW guys. Are they perfect? No, but tons of potential. And already improving. I think they did the right thing with the Acclaim turning babyface, because I think Platinum is going to be a huge face with those promos, and both guys are very good. I'm not saying one guy's better than the other. The one guy's a better promo, obviously, but both are really good. Great act. The Ass Boys are very fun. Billy Gunn's a great manager with them. I never thought I'd be a Billy Gunn fan. This was just all around very good. Very fun stuff. It was what it needed to be. Highlighting 4 young guys, and you got over the right team went over. Really fun. I was surprised they actually showed some. I thought they were going to show highlights of the whole Ric Flair last match. It's weird to show highlights of the Ric Flair last match show, but not show Ric Flair. But they showed Mance Warner, who won the Battle Royal when he threw out Bubba Ray. I'd like to see a Bubba Ray last run in AEW personally, but I've heard the name Mance Warner, but I really don't know anything about him. But apparently he's wrestling Moxley Friday for the world title. It's kind of out of nowhere. Madison Rayne, she's making her debut on Friday too. And Swerve in Your Gloryverse. I think it was Josh Edwards. I don't know who this was. And Tony Nese. Battle. Oh, so this next one match, the winner of this will fight Moxley at Battle of the Belts. Jericho and Yuta. I'm a big fan of both guys. I love Jericho and AEW. I've loved Jericho's whole career, honestly. Yuta, I've always thought was a good wrestler. Then he really became a star that night. He wrestled Moxley in that bloodbath on Rampage. He's great. This was a hell of a match. Held his own because you're in there versus one of the all-time greats, Jericho. Claudio came out to even the sides. I'm always a fan of Regal on commentary. That's always a big plus. This was just a great match, and I think the right guy went over. You might want to argue that the young guy should go over, but I don't. Even though I really like Yuta, I don't think he's quite there yet to beat Jericho in this, and then you'd have the Yuta going for the title. But I think Yuta being in the main event and going toe to toe with Jericho really helps him. So I really enjoyed the show. There was stuff, wasn't perfect, but overall I really liked it. I enjoyed AEW Dynamite this week. All right, so nasty Neil from Andrew. Yeah, I'm alone tonight. No Inchman. I also have a cold, so if you hear me cough a little bit or my nose a little stuffed up, I apologize. Hello, Patrick Howell. All right, so we're going to take Stephen Butler in. We're going to go over SummerSlam, and then we're going to go over the Raw report. We're going to take call. You guys can zoom in now if you like. I'll post the link. I'd rather not go all night tonight. I did an interview. So I've slept like 14 hours. I've had a very busy week. It's been an odd time. It's been an odd year. 2 films that are premiering at Fright Fest. The restoration of End Zone 2, along with my first produced feature film, the Once and Future Smash. Both those will premiere at Fright Fest August 29th in London. I'll be there. It's very exciting. Last week, out of the blue, speaking of Andrew, I'm going to be co-directing a short film with Andrew, The Devils 2. That's very exciting, and it's a cool opportunity. Thank you, Andrew. And then out of the blue last week, I was cast in the new Kansas bowling film as it's a big role. I was cast as the killer. This was when I was coming home from Dynamite, actually. Wednesday night, we're coming back. We're in Worcester, coming back, and it came up. Michael Epstein suggested me as because the original actor backed out the last minute, and they were going to start filming the next day. And so Kansas was like, first she wanted me to shave so I look more like the killer, but she's like, no. And I gave her, I just read the script very quickly, gave her my take on how I'd play it. She was into it. Asked if I had like certain wardrobe. And it came about all in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m, and then I had to be up in Chelmsford the next morning. So I literally got no sleep. I was up all night. I read the script. I memorized the script. I got my wardrobe together. Went up to Boston. From Boston, I was picked up and brought to Chelmsford. And from there, they had some more stuff. They had my murder gloves and a pair of glasses. And yeah, it was wild. I was in this. And then I didn't even know who else was involved. I just knew Kansas Bowling is fairly pretty big. Well known in the independent world, and she was one of the Manson girls in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She's the writer and director of the movie. And then I found out that my co-host in the film, Tessa Guerin, is the daughter of Jack Nicholson. So it was a really wild experience. So yeah, it just came up out of the blue. And I don't even know. So we filmed it. I have no idea. We filmed it in Chelmsford, and then we should film some of it in Pawtucket. The gist of it, and I'll go over more in Without Your Head, but the gist of it is it's short stories, and all of them are real Jane Doe murders that were unsolved. And Kansas researched each one, and mine is what's known as the cheerleader in the trunk case from 1982 when they found a dead young woman in a trunk in the woods. And she did her research on who she thought the person was. And she also thought this serial killer who's, known serial killer went to jail was actually the killer. So I played him in this film. It was way darker than anything I've ever done. Usually the stuff I've done is usually I'm like the comic relief, but this was a very dark role. It was some weird stuff to be filmed with someone I just met. And really cool. And the idea behind it is she hopes to get new leads on some of these unsolved cases. So it's interesting. All right. I'm still waiting for Butler here to connect. We'll go over SummerSlam quick while he's connecting. All right. SummerSlam. Some people are going crazy saying this seemed like a whole new show. I do think there were parts of it that did. Parts of it not so much. But I understand it was the final show under Vince McMahon. So most of this was Vince McMahon stuff, but, it's taken over by new people. So I don't think it's fair to say this is, all Triple H yet. Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. This is a great match. Possibly the match of the night, really. It probably was the match of the night. I've been saying you got to stop fighting the crowd. The crowd wants to cheer Becky Lynch. I don't get Bianca as a baby face. Seems like she's a heel to me. The big thing though at the end, I think they listen. Well, we're not going to fight the crowd anymore. Let's make Becky Lynch a baby face. Her and Bianca versus we had the return of Bayley, which I was very excited about. And I'm not really familiar with the other two women that was with her, but it looks like it'll be a cool group. And I'm looking forward to what's going down here. And I think it was really the visual of that was like a lot of the women that Triple H backed in NXT. So I think this makes me hopeful for the future of the women division in WWE. But one thing before we get too far, what they really needed on this show was those carts. Like the ring carts that they had at WrestleMania 3, because like it was like a mile to the ring, and some of the people you like had to just sit there and slowly walk to the ring for like 20 minutes. It was a long distance from the backstage of the ring. Logan Paul, I'm not the crowd for this. I have no idea who this guy is besides him on WWE. I've heard people rave about this match. I just was not interested in it. Logan Paul versus Miz. Maybe it was better than what I was paying attention. People are saying it was good. It's just not. I'm not the crowd for it. Lexar, did you love it?
I didn't get to see it because I was at the strip club for half of the.
Oh man, you were jerking it.
It was just the big spot.
I came back.
I was about to say with too much information there, Lexar, but
I came back.
I heard the back part
at the start of Street Profits versus the Usos stuff.
Oh. Bobby Lashley versus Theory. This wasn't hardly anything to me. It was like, I guess Theory's pushes over. He's really looked like a bum. He got beat in a few minutes. I don't think Bobby Lashley's that over as a babyface. I think he's much better as a heel with MVP. But this, I didn't think anything that much. Mysterios versus Judgment Day. I hate the Mysterios, so I don't really even get the Judgment Day group either. Now that it's like just other people. And then Edge came out, but they show like the whole thing that it's like was clearly built, like these steps, and I thought it just looked goofy. Like they're even shooting it, like filming, like, hey, this is like the ramp we just built. They could have like hit it in some smoke or something. Isn't this like the third return of Edge since he came back? All he does is come back. Every time he wrestles, it's his comeback.
Once we got hurt, so
plus they were saying he didn't want to be like part of a Supernatural, but he's coming out in like a staircase of fire, and all the commentators like he's like being sent by demons, and I was like, well, I don't understand. Kind of weird too if he comes back and now in feuds with Judgment Day when they just lost. Seems like they're kind of bums. I don't know. Pat McAfee versus Happy Corbin. This is again not a match for me, but maybe it was good. But I'll be honest, I couldn't give it a fair shot because I could not care less about either guy. Usos versus Street Profits. I thought this was a good match. I've seen it probably 850 times. I don't even watch WWE TV, but I'll give them credit. They always have good matches, I think. Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey. I thought this was the shits. This was terrible. This is not a match that should even happen. I actually like Liv Morgan, but this is the biggest like mismatch I've ever seen because nothing she does looks like it could ever hurt Ronda Rousey at all. It's just not a good pairing. So she's doing stuff and it looks like totally harmless. Then it was only a few minutes long, but 1 minute just fell apart and they just kind of clearly talking to each other what to do. It's terrible. It just looks like Ronda could destroy her at any second.
Yeah.
And I'm not someone who's saying like, I'm fine with people being smaller and stuff, but she comes off very dainty and she's doing like flips and everything she does not look, it looks harmless next to Rousey. And then they did a finish I saw some people like, but I thought it didn't do anything for either person. Like, so Liv's taps out while Rousey basically pinned herself. So Liv technically keeps the title, but I just thought it made her look super weak. This looks like a joke. I think it's going to be somebody that they'll have the title on her, but the crowd's going to end up not caring about her. Then they'll be like, well, we tried, but they didn't. This was, to me, it was a mismatch. They shouldn't have done this match. I don't think you could have had a good match between these two. And the Reigns match, that won me over. Reigns, Brock Lesnar. I've seen it 100, well, not 100 times, 8 times probably. But it was fun. It was a crazy match with Brock looks like he's having fun now all the time. Yeah. And who doesn't want to see a great big spectacle where they destroy the ring? It was fun. Oh. This is a good time. So I thought SummerSlam was booked in by 2 really good things. Women's match was really good, and then just some craziness at the end. Overall, I mean, I'd say I enjoyed it. Part of it, I don't follow the show, so I'm going to try to start following the show now under the new reign. Although I did not see Raw this week. I'm sorry, Lexar, but I was given a comped room at the casino, so I took off for the night. So is that all right, Lexar? Will you give me a pass for that?
That's fine.
All right.
Yeah, Hope looks nice though. You kind of look like Bobby Roode a little bit with that white.
Yeah, I guess. So. I should have took it home and just did the show in the robe. That would have been pretty cool. But I went in the room and so they have they have the mini bar. I don't drink anymore, but it was really stacked. But then they had all these potato chips and savory snacks, trail mix kind of stuff. And at first I was hungry, so I was going to eat some. I was like, oh, wait a minute, I better look. And so they didn't list the prices there. So I looked out, they have they have an iPad, which does everything in the series. So you turn on all the lights and stuff. But anyway, and it was like $17 for a bag of chips that would cost 79 cents. Whoa. And it was like $13 for a little bit of M&Ms. And I was like, it probably would cost me $200 if I ate the little bit of the snack basket there. I was like, I think I'll be good. I'll go get some food down. Excuse me. I did catch a little bit of a cold.
You're eating all the garbage.
Was that? What'd you say, Vic?
I said, make sure you don't throw make sure that you don't throw.
Oh, I know. I did drink a bottled water. I'm wondering if I'll get charged for that.
See, when I went to Indy,
$49 for that.
When I went to Indy a couple of months ago, we had bought some water at the store and we had thrown it away in the trash can in the room. And then later they find out, I said, what's this $10 charge? Oh, when they were cleaning your room, they found 2 empty water bottles. Because there were water bottles.
I probably will be charged for the water.
It charges $5 each.
Oh my God.
Oh shit. I will say they had a really nice coffee machine. All right. So let's get to this Raw. Well, we're going to do the Raw report and the Ric Flair last match report. We'll do Raw report, then we'll do Ric Flair.
Well, first of all, I just want to say it's about damn time Becky Lynch turned babyface.
I agree.
That made me really happy to see her come back into the ring.
Hopefully she doesn't dress like a total idiot anymore.
And another thing, the fashion report is, her wardrobe improved. She's not a Power Ranger anymore or anything like that. And that was a first. Oh wow, look at that.
Whoa.
All right. So yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, their idea of like all heels, they're just dressed stupid. I don't get it.
So well, maybe after the Raw report, I'll go into this. Now that we've supposedly seen the last of Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, supposedly, Monday Night Raw,
Monday Night Raw.
Dun, 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 dun.
So we get Becky Lynch in a sling. Now, I didn't notice her when she supposedly got injured during the match, but she said like 20 minutes. And she cuts a nice babyface promo. It looks like both, I guess, Becky Lynch and Edge cut these nice babyface promos. But she calls out Bianca Belair, and it looks like they make up, even though Bianca still cuts a heel promo. And it looks like Becky's going to take some time off. But before she leaves, there's a backstage segment where Bailey and Io Sky, now Io Sky, and Dakota Kai try to do more damage to her. And so it looks like, unfortunately, Becky is legit injured and going to be off for a while.
Jeez, that's bad timing.
It is bad timing, especially when you got the other three coming in.
Yeah.
But when she does come
in
back,
that role.
Yeah, at least she's going to come back as a babyface and probably feud with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder who they'll put in that role for now, though. Maybe they'll try to get Sasha and Naomi back. I saw that they were trying to talk to them.
Supposedly, that's in the rumor mill.
That would be good if you had Bianca, Sasha, and Naomi versus a new group.
Because what they said, what I read was that they had a problem with Vince, but they don't have a problem with Triple H.
Yeah.
So, once
it made me wonder. I saw Warrior's widow no longer works for WWE. Do you think it's kind of weird that she'd leave right after Vince? Do you think there was something going on there?
I don't know.
Suggesting they were doing the WB?
Maybe. He was getting revenge on Warrior for all those years after he died.
So we got a couple of triple threat matches. The first one was The Miz versus AJ Styles versus Mustafa Ali. This was actually, I enjoyed these triple threat matches. And the ending of this one was really good. I think it was Mustafa Ali did this fantastic move. No, he did do geez, I can't remember, but it ended with AJ Styles hitting the Styles Clash on him for the win. I thought this was an excellent match.
Seems like a guy he's really been just kind of roaming around ever since that WrestleMania where he beat Undertaker as AJ Styles, or Undertaker beat him, but seems ever since then like he's just kind of there. He's never written title pictures or anything. He was in the tag team with Omos for a long time. I'd like to see him do something.
Well, yeah, it looks like he's going from singles to tag teams with that. Like I said, I don't know whether this tag team with Dolph Ziggler is a full-time thing or whether it was just a 1 week thing.
That's probably not a great idea.
But yeah, I think he's better. AJ is better as a single. You know,
it's real quick. This is from Andrew in the chat room.
Oh,
Thank you, Andrew. What the hell am I?
yeah, it's very loud now.
Thank you, Andrew. Good man.
okay, next up we get the Street Profits playing rock, paper, scissors to find out who's going to face Seth Rollins. And Montez Ford, well, I guess he didn't want to, maybe he was going to lose. But anyway, he just grabs the ref, hauls him down to the ring, and jumps in the ring. And he has this nice one-on-one match against Seth Rollins. Again, I noticed one thing I'll say about the Triple H era of WWE is there's a lot of wrestling. And if you like a lot of wrestling and not a lot of silliness, this is the show for you. And
I like to be entertained. That means I like good wrestling. I like a little bit of silliness, but usually their idea of like comedy is just really poor stuff. So,
but that was the Vince era, you know. Yeah. And I guess
I always do find it weird if I listen to some people on YouTube. I mostly like disco and stuff, and they'll make fun of people who like the actual wrestling. I never understand that. Like, why would you ever start watching wrestling if you don't like wrestling?
Anyway, so Seth Rollins hits the curb stomp on he wins with the curb stomp and wins the match again.
I got this shirt at Dynamite. It's got all the guys on it, and it says I was there on the back. I thought it was pretty cool.
Nice.
All right. I did notice though at Dynamite, all the Punk shirts and all the Blackpool Combat Club shirts were all $5 more, and I theorized that Punk and maybe Daniel Bryan in their contract they get a bigger percentage of merchandise. Maybe that's why. I'm not positive.
The old let's get the two hottest acts on your card, milk you for as much money.
Yeah, the shirts themselves are expensive. Hey, $35, but $40 for Punk or Blackpool Combat Club.
Huh.
I was gonna get a Punk stocking cap because I wear them in the winter. Cause my head gets cold. But it was like I don't know, $35.
Jesus.
I could have got that or a pack of M&Ms and a water in my hotel. Go on, Stevie.
So I think I forgot to mention in the last match that Rollins got on the mic and he said now that he's almost ended what's his name? Riddle's career, he's going to set his sights on Roman Reigns. So I was thinking, you know, that they have, since Roman needs new challengers and Rollins and Reigns faced each other. I think it was at the last Saudi show that naturally, you know, they're going to have another Saudi show this November, and eventually Rollins and Reigns, I think, should have a rematch. But really, I mean, if the Rollins Riddle match isn't happening and Cody's not coming back anytime soon, he's going to be out. Rollins needs a new opponent, and Reigns needs new challengers. So it kind of makes logical sense. Next up, we didn't get too much of a match. It was Alexa Bliss versus Asuka, and just as soon as these
Asuka's back.
Yeah.
Is she still screaming? You know, they probably won't change everything overnight, but I assume that's maybe that'll be something that they tone back on. Maybe make her more like she used to be.
Well, I noticed she's not, well, you know, she's not like dancing to the ring and doing all that silliness, that kind of silliness.
Oh, like she was having a seizure.
You know, this wasn't much of a match because Bailey, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky, you know, I might say Io Shirai for a couple of times myself, but Io Sky hit the ring and broke up this match, and there wasn't a finish to it, and but to be continued with this. So next up, we got the next triple threat match, and it's Ciampa versus Dolph Ziggler versus Chad Gable. And as soon as I saw this match, I thought, well, I know who's taking the pin in this one. But it wasn't Chad Gable.
Oh, really?
I mean,
hopefully it wasn't Ciampa.
No, I mean,
it wasn't Ciampa.
It wasn't Ciampa. Ciampa wasn't the one who took the pin in this.
I think maybe under Triple H now he won't be quite as buried.
So I was quite surprised when Ciampa got the win.
What a weird pairing, him and Miz. Anyway, that's very odd.
Right.
Like, I actually like Miz, but like him and Ciampa have nothing in common. The one guy's like this real like straight wrestling guy and like this real gritty dude, and the other guy's the Miz. I mean, it's not like there's no connection between the two.
So Ciampa gets the win, and apparently there's going to be a match later on against AJ Styles, and the winner gets to face Bobby Lashley for the US title.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So this is later on. Ciampa versus AJ Styles, and again, that there's a match. I don't know if these two have ever faced them, but there's a first ever matchup between these two. We'll get to that, because next up was Bianca Belair versus Io Sky, and this one also had a no contest, because now this was a little weird, and I think kind of normally when people run into the ring and it ends up in a disqualification, it's usually when the people who interfere in the match attack one of the participants. But when Bailey and Dakota Kai ran into the ring, they got into a fight with Alexa Bliss and Asuka, who also came down to the ring. So you had these four fighting, and the referee, for some reason, decides, because they never touched either Io Sky or Bianca Belair, the ref still declared a no contest. And I thought, I don't know, I was just confused by that. That was just my wrestling brain functioning.
I'm glad there's more wrestling on this show. That does have me excited.
Yes. I think this is a trait of the Triple H era. Is you'll notice, and I was going to follow up with, now this was 2 weeks in a row we did not get any Omos matches.
What?
We didn't get
very sad.
We didn't get any 24/7 stuff.
That's already looking up in my book now. Yeah.
We didn't get beer.
What? No Veer.
No Veer. We didn't even get any Theory.
That one's weird, because he does seem like he would be a guy that Triple H would like.
but we didn't get.
Maybe they're just going to repackage them. I do think that just calling them theory is not a great decision.
So
And I'm not really big on the whole taking the selfies thing and stuff.
So our next match was the actual winners, Champa versus AJ Styles. And again, I like this match. This was the first for me. This was the first time ever that I don't know if these two have ever faced each other before, but once they got in the ring, this was a lot of great wrestling.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. The Miz was at ringside with Champa, and we had a guest commentator in Booker T. So they had a great match, and surprise, surprise, maybe this is Triple H's influence, but Ciampa beats AJ Styles.
Oh, really? Wow, that's a
Yes.
huge upset.
It was a huge upset. I was expecting AJ to win, but no.
Yeah. That sounds like it would be a really good match, too.
So Ciampa gets the win, and he gets a title shot against Bobby Lashley for the
Really?
title.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'd
Next
be really
up,
shocked if he'd win, but I'd be all about it. I like Ciampa.
next up, we got one of your favorite tag teams, the Mysterios, taking on the Usos. And the Usos win this one.
Good. That's.
Yeah, they hit the
Are you one of the
Money or
Mysterios,
whatever.
Lexar? You kind of look like Dominic.
Yeah. Dominic took, I think it was Dominic who took the 1D, and the Usos won this one. And this was actually the main event of the show. So I think you should give Raw a chance.
Yeah,
At least
I
give
was
it a
actually
chance.
going to watch it this week, but I got a free room to the encore. I actually should have went up and watched it in the encore, just up in the hotel, but I was
Because you can always find either highlights or clips or the whole show if you look around for it.
maybe
but I
did they
think-
even have it on demand? I don't know.
Yeah, but I think in the Triple H era, it's worth it. It's worth a look. I mean,
Yeah, I'd like to start watching it.
and so
They already were using guys I like. I like seeing AJ more. I like seeing Ciampa, not just as a goof. I'm glad not to see 24/7 stuff.
but I wanted to follow that up with, okay, now that we supposedly have seen the last of Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, and I guess
What do you go with? You got to start building up somebody.
so it's going to be Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre, Clash at the Castle in Cardiff, Wales. And I do not expect Drew to win.
No, I actually like Drew, but I think he's a guy you really need to rehabilitate. Like, not like change him into a mailman or something, but like you need to like really build him up again to have him as like viable like top guy material.
But
I think he was hurt by putting the belt on him during the no crowd era. Because instead of being like that, being a big deal for him, I think, when you're a champ, when there's nobody in the crowd, no matter who was in that position, you were going to be doomed. And then the sword stuff is just so dumb.
I'm wondering if that was a Vince idea.
Because you're watching it, like, I know it's wrestling and stuff, but what's he trying to do? Is he legit trying to murder the people? Because what would you do if you actually hit the guy with the sword? You'd cut his arm off, or he cuts the rope in half, so he's clearly trying to kill the people, and he's the baby face. It's very strange.
Well, I would hope somebody would tell him, okay, Drew, lose the sword and just come to the ring.
Yeah, I don't think you need that.
But yeah, now that there's got to be new challengers, you really haven't built up someone who could legitimately be a threat to
No, I don't.
Reign.
Besides doing stuff we've seen before, I can't really think of. Because I asked that question on the group, and like people are saying Bobby Lashley, and I'm like, you could do the match, but I don't think like Lashley's like 45. I'm not saying he's there. You can't do anything with him at all or anything, but you can't like build the whole company around him.
I mean, like you could give him like one match against
yeah,
Roman.
he could be a pay-per-view match for
Roman, and just give Roman something to do for about 4 weeks and beat him. But beyond that, I mean, you go back to Edge, like I said, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre.
Even the guys I don't like the current Seth Rollins, but I recognize he's very good, and there's times I like him. And Andrew brought up Kevin Owens, who I actually really like too. But even all these guys, we have seen them quite a bit, like over the last 10 years. I really think it's time to build like a whole new guy. I don't really know who there is. I think Braun Breaker maybe, but you'd have to see how that goes. You can't. I wouldn't just bring him up and have him, beat Roman Reigns. But
yeah, I mean, like he's obviously the star of the future, but one thing that WWE doesn't seem to have a whole lot of is patience.
No.
But with Braun Breaker, you need a lot of patience with him.
Yeah. Dolph Ziggler again.
I don't think so.
Because I like these. I mean, Kevin Owens. I like him. But I don't know. It's just like it feels like it's something I've seen before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'd have to really look at the roster, but I don't know if there's really anybody. Maybe you go out on the limb with somebody, like maybe one of the guys from Street Profits or something. I don't know. I do think it's a good time. I agree with Renee on the board. I think it would be good to try like 5 or 6 guys, start to build them up and see who catches on, instead of going with one guy hoping they catch on. Try a bunch of people, and if you see who, hey, this guy we didn't expect, maybe we saw something in, and just the crowd really reacts to him.
The one guy I thought of right away, that I think I responded to that, was Jimmy Uso, if he could stay out of trouble.
I think he's really talented too.
I think, and it's a lot,
and we've not seen it before.
And it's a built-in storyline. If he just wants to break out on his own and go for that title. So, and I think if you patience and handle it right, I think Jimmy Uso could.
Yeah, that's a good one. If they would have waited, and now he's hurt, so you can't do it. But like because when they really did go with Big E, they never really pushed them really that well, I don't think. But someone like that, where like the crowd wants to get behind them, but they've never had a big singles run yet. That's a good one though. I really think it has to be someone different instead of a rehash of someone that's already been at the top. But we'll see. That's always an exciting time though in wrestling when that happens, because sometimes people, starts getting pushes that you wouldn't expect, or someone rises out of the blue. So we'll see. Do you have any picks, Lexar, who you would like to see like as a future main event guy? Dominic?
No.
I'm a big Gunther fan, but I don't see him as like a guy that the crowd would really get behind. I think he could be a main event guy, but he's not like I don't really see him ever being like a big baby face guy.
Maybe in the women's division, Raquel Gonzalez.
Yeah, they have a lot of women. I think they're probably good there. But the big one is like who eventually beats Roman after this amazing, run as champion.
Theory, because he had the money in the bank.
Yeah, but he's really been like booked as like a goof, like a
push to the moon.
I mean, he just lost in like 4 minutes on this last show.
And at SummerSlam, he got his ass kicked by both Roman and Brock. So
yeah, I think he's a guy they've pushed for shit. I'm trying to look
I think Roman. I actually enjoyed that. Roman just kind of looked at Theory. I think he just, I don't know whether he like hit him with the briefcase or kick him or something. Anyway, he just kind of dismissed him. And anyway, I just had a good smile on my face when Theory got beat up there.
I did notice at SummerSlam, it seemed like they were going more serious with Riddle and cutting down on him acting like a total idiot. So if you don't push him like he acts like he's their version of what a stoner is, I mean, maybe you could do something with him.
I actually was thinking as I was watching this and thinking about Seth Rollins as a future challenger to Roman. What if you did a double turn and turned Seth face and Riddle heel at the same time? And made Riddle a serious heel character.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's better, more serious. I mean, he can have some a little comedy stuff, but when he was just a goof, I really hated seeing him. One, obviously, when he's healthy, Cody. I think they'll probably go with Cody. I do wonder if if Vince not being there, if that hurts Cody's run at all. Because he can say all he wants about Triple H being his favorite wrestler. He did trash the man for the last 5 years now. Like his whole character was built around, breaking down the throne and stuff. But Triple H might be a guy who doesn't hold that, as a grudge. I don't know. But Cody definitely be up there. Damian Priest, I'm not really seeing it. I think he's a good wrestler. I don't think he really has the personality. A lot of the guys that you think of are guys that, have been at the top for a while, like Edge and stuff. All these guys, like you said, you could do Edge versus Reigns for a pay-per-view, but it's not like that's the guy that dethrones Reigns and has been champ for a long time. I don't think. I don't know. I'm not really seeing very many people stand out. Happy Corbin.
Finn Balor.
Yeah, I don't think I don't see it in Finn Balor. I think he's a good wrestler. I don't think he has a personality, though. All right. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens. John Cena. Let's see. All right. So we're possibly Logan Paul.
Hmm.
It's possible. See how long they're gonna get, how much you're gonna get out of this guy.
Social media influencer.
Mansoor, maybe.
Man
Oh yeah,
Swamp.
let's get Maximum Bale models.
Yeah,
Have
Man
that feud
Swamp.
with the bloodline.
Montez Ford. I don't know. It's possible. Go think out of the box a little bit. Mr. McMahon's still listed here under the all the superstars. Isn't that weird? They still list him there?
And they could push Chad Gable as the next Kurt Angle.
And shoot myself.
I'm not seeing it.
Huge.
Well, all of their
Who's
future
Odyssey
guys,
Jones?
they
Vic's cutting up on
It's the internet's.
me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get the Ric Flair last match report
Woohoo.
from my boy Goosey here.
90% of the card was nothing.
Really?
Like the only match I legitimately could pay attention to was Josh Alexander and Jacob Fatu, because I love me some Jacob Fatu. That kid can work, but
It sounded like a fun show. I didn't watch it, so I don't know.
I mean, there was very little hype for the undercard, I will say, compared to even during the show, they weren't even knowing what was going on in the ring. They were talking about Ric Flair the whole night. I was like, okay, I get it, but so we started off the show pre-show, or I had no idea who these two people are. Ren Narita beat Yumayura.
Man. I don't know. I've heard Red Narita for some reason. I've heard of him, but I've never. I wouldn't be able to pick him out of a lineup or anything.
And Mance Warner, I know who he is. He's like
I know the name, but I'm not really familiar with him.
Isn't he like a great value branded Stone Cold Steve Austin or something?
Maybe. I kind of remember Intra liking him for some reason. Maybe I'm wrong.
He won the Bunkhouse Battle Royal, which consisted of him, Bully Ray, Crimson, what the fuck, James Storm, Crowbar, Gringo Loco, Big Damo, who who was he in NXT, Steven?
Big Damo.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Oh, Killian Dane.
Oh, okay, Killian Dane. All right.
He was Killian Dane.
This sounded fun to me, but I didn't see it, so I don't know.
Yeah. Mance Warner, Joey Janela, Blake Christian, Jordan Oliver. Who? Effie. Oh, Effie's the big the pride guy, and Matthew Justice. Who? Manders. Who? I mean, Ricky Shane Page and Sid Bodie and some other no names.
Effie was in it too, I believe.
Oh yeah, I didn't have to mention Effie. He's a interesting character.
I'm not a big fan, but
yeah, a standard battle royal.
I saw didn't the GCW guys do a run in or something?
I have no idea.
Half of them were GCW guys.
Oh, I see. Is Mance Warner a GCW guy, Lexar? All right.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was the pre-show. On to the main show, we had the Motor City Machine Guns, who haven't literally been relevant in 8 years, against the Wolves of Davey Richards.
Yeah, these are two teams that were really big, in the early days of In Your Head.
Back in the TNA, 2007 to 2011 phase. And then we had Killer Cross. I would be shocked if he doesn't go back. I wouldn't be right. I'd be shocked if he doesn't go back.
Someone just put in the chat that the rumor him and Johnny Gargano will be coming back to WWE. That's a possible guy too. You could do something with if he would go back as Killer Cross.
He beat Davey Boy Smith Jr., who was. Remember when he was just a total nobody jobber in WWE?
Yeah, I'm a fan. I've seen him live a couple times. He's really big and he's a really good wrestler. I saw this only got 5 minutes, which is kind of surprising because I've seen him live. He's very good.
Next match was a fatal 4-way, I guess. Jonathan Gresham, the psychopathic guy who wouldn't take the fall. Beat the famous Alan Angel. Wrestling's revolution of Alan Angels. Konosuke Takashita.
That guy's been really good on AEW.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah. And something called Nick Wayne.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. This was only a 5-minute match too, which is very short for a 4-way.
Especially with some of the names. The Four Horsemen, Brian Pillman Jr. and Brock Anderson. Okay.
They shouldn't use that name. I like Pillman Jr. and Brock. He's too young to say if I like it, but they shouldn't be using the Horseman name yet.
Defeated the Rock and Roll Express, which was Ricky and Kerry Morton. Apparently, does Robert Gibson take bumps anymore?
I think he's stopped wrestling, but he was at ringside. I think he wrestled just not that long ago though, because they were power champions. I think.
Because I don't think Arn and Malenko or any of the guys were Yeah. So or on the show. So Ray Phoenix defeated Taurus, Bandito, and Laredo Kid. I know
Miller Stevens said it was good in the chat. I didn't see it, so
I'm not a big Lucha Libre fan, so I couldn't tell you 3 of them. Although Taurus isn't that dude with the big bowl.
Yeah, I'd never seen before. The mask did look cool though.
Impact World Championship. Josh Alexander and Jacob Fatu went to a no contest. I thought it ended somebody they wouldn't break holds or something like that.
Oh, okay. I've never seen Jacob Fatu. I've heard really good things about him.
Yeah, he's a really good worker. Absolutely really good worker. The Briscoes defeated the Von Erichs of Marshall and Ross.
That's probably fun. I've never seen the Von Erich kids either.
No.
I love the Briscoes.
Yeah. Jordan Grace beat Deanna Purrazzo and Rachel Ellering for the Impact Women's Championship or something like that. It was kind of your standard women's wrestling match.
You know, one thing, Benoit would have never been able to memorize that match.
And then we get to the main event. There's a great video package, and then the cameras spawn to ringside, and there he is. Mean Mark Callis himself. And
Yeah, I saw that.
sit next to Foley, and then sit next to Bret Hart.
Yeah. Behind them was DDP.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't get a front row, though.
Yeah, of course, he's always stalking the Undertaker's wife. They were all at ringside. They showed Jerry Jarrett on the other side, so they're keeping the let's keep the faces on.
Thing, but I don't even know if they would have allowed Undertaker there at front row under just like a few months ago under McMahon. It seems like something he wouldn't have allowed.
Yeah, right.
That's cool, though. I mean, how could he's the all-time great Ric Flair. That's cool to be there at the guys' last match, especially his peers that have wrestled him.
Token entrances, and then the music hits. Da, 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 da. Ric Flair comes out, loud ovation, walking slowly. He's there. Yeah, this is.
I saw. I didn't see the match, but I saw stills. He's kind of sad looking.
Yeah, wearing the original gold belt that he was struggling to hold onto his waist.
Oh, really?
They had that thing tight, and it was all that. So it started off was actually for what it could possibly be. I thought this was a really good match. I mean, Andrade's carrying everything, obviously, and Jay Lethal and him have good chemistry, and it was a fun. I mean, Ric Flair, you got all the classic struck off, and you got the classic, Ric Flair slapping his shoulders and putting on the figure four, blading like he normally does, and it was really cool. I did see that Ric Flair fucking passed out. He was supposed to win by the figure four, but he passed out. So
really?
Double J put his shoulders on the mat and knew to take the pin. and then because there's a still video, they're just getting out of the move, and Flair's laying there and whispers to Andrade, "I passed the fuck out, man." So yeah. Of course, it was kind of a funny ending in terms of they got Ric Flair's family involved, and Ashley Flair, not Charlotte, but
oh, really?
Yeah, and Conrad Thompson got involved, and I think they even got Wendy, Ric Flair's maybe fiance, girlfriend, split up.
No. It was Megan.
It was Megan Flair. Yeah, sorry. I said not Charlotte. I forgot the name. Sorry, but the other one, Conrad's.
His wife.
Yeah. But for what it was, it's a send off that I guess Ric Flair wanted, or I don't know. Conrad used.
I wish I would have watched it. I actually totally forgot about it.
It was kind of a.
The last week was very odd for me.
I hope Rick is truly done. This is about all you can really say.
I saw Clinton said he had a good time at it. Geraldine says she's at work, but she wants to say hi to everyone, and I will return when they hire extra people.
Man.
But hello from Geraldine. Very nice. And thank you for the Ric Flair last match report.
Well,
yeah, Megan attacked Karen Jarrett ringside.
Yeah.
Karen was like cussing her out. She's like, "I'm going to effing kill you." It was like some great gaga ringside. Conrad threw some knuckles to Andrade, and Andrade was trying to put
By the way, here's
the
go on.
knucks on his right hand. So that's why Jeff was knocked out, because he got knocked out with like knuckles. that made sense. And then, so when the guest referee came in, he was doing the pin. I noticed it was a double pin, but they obviously weren't going to make it a double pin for this show.
No,
Rick
obviously.
got the win, confetti, bloody. He had an interview with Tony Schiavone ringside, and it was so surreal because he's having a good speech, and then he's talking about Kid Rock. He's like, "I'm off tonight. You gotta entertain me," and like, it's just so funny how much press Kid Rock had this whole weekend. Like,
Yeah, him and
just
Jeff
I'm just
Jarrett.
trying to watch Andrade's
Oh,
entrance.
all the
Kid Rock is like, they're like,
maybe
they're
that's
showing him
who
on camera. I'm like, just trying to watch Andrade here.
Hey, that's who's gonna
Like,
dethrone Roman.
Yeah, it was cool seeing
Reigns.
Undertaker, Mick Foley, and Bret Hart all at ringside too.
My name is Kid.
The match I was most looking forward to is Cross and Davey Boy because they're both grapplers and like, but I wish they got 10 minutes. We only got 5, but I think there was some of the timing, some of the
Seemed like most of the
show
matches
could have been better.
Yeah.
And I saw Jordan Grace even hurt L-Ring accidentally, like going for a roll up. That was crazy.
Really?
It took L-Ring like a minute to get recover.
Gee. She's
Right
no
to
Benoit.
And, I like the presentation of the show. It was very nostalgic. It was JCP themed and promoted, and they had Bob Caudle at the end thanking them for watching, and then they had like a credit. They had a roll credits. You don't usually see credits in wrestling, so I thought that was pretty cool. And they showed who were the producers, like Sim Bodie and some other people. It was pretty neat. I think I'd like to see another show similar, just without
Well, they couldn't just
someone
out like Ric
that
Flair.
elderly in the main event.
Ric
but
Flair's last
yeah,
match.
Ricky Morton too in a tag match, and he seemed to be doing well. I like the tag team matches that they had. They had a Von Erich's Briscoes too at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing them do another show like that. I don't think Conrad will, but maybe for the right.
They'll just
money
keep
or the
bringing
right
in last
weekend,
people.
you can't
People
do
do
that,
last
but
matches.
I think it made sense for Jeff Jarrett to be in the match, given
Get a
his
last match
I
out
like
of
the interview backstage
maybe
too.
Terry
that they did.
Funk and
Jerry
get a
Lawler was
last
like
match out of the Funker.
being a heel in the segment, and it was
Abdul
like
the
him and
Butcher's
Jerry
last
Jarrett
match.
backstage, and Jeff and Jerry were doing the cargo strut in the locker room. It's pretty cool. And like Jeff was so good at getting heat
Kurt Angle's last
when he was
match.
coming out. It looked like fans were going to jump the rail. He was egging them on, and Doug Dillinger was
Barry
trying to separate
Windham's
them.
last match.
Yeah, I think I know the show was about Ric Flair, but it was really a good showing for Jeff Jarrett for him to be able to carry Ric in that match. But that's my report on it.
There you go. Boogie Woogie Man's last match. You can get a lot of last matches out of people. Just lie too, say it's their last match and they do other ones. By the way, here was since she posted on Instagram. This is my co-host Tessa, or not co-host, co-star Tessa. Before on the right and after she meets me in this movie. I didn't know if we were supposed to share this kind of stuff, but she posts on Instagram so they can yell at her.
God.
Whoa.
That's before she meets me over here, and then after on the left. So it does not go well. Spoiler alert.
Is that what the girl in the trunk looked like?
Yeah. Yeah, they found her in yeah, I actually looked into the real case afterwards. It's very grim. All right. So anything, I'll go around the horn here. Anything on your mind, Lexar, before we get to the questions?
Well, yeah, during SummerSlam weekend, WWE held tryouts for all these non-wrestler athletes who want to become a WWE superstar, and it went so terribly bad. Lots of concussions, lots of injuries, and WWE is now thinking of hiring independent wrestlers, which they had a ban on.
Yeah, this is the thing. To me, it's very dumb to limit where you can get your potential stars from anywhere. Why limit, where you can get people? I think it's fine to get college athletes and big freaks of nature and all these things. That's all cool. But to say like we also don't want indie wrestlers is to me just dumb. It just limits what you can get. Because let's say you love wrestling, you want to pursue it, but if you don't have a family member in the WWE or a wrestling dad or whatever, if you're not just some big giant dude, or you're not in the Olympics, or you're not a college football player, how would you go about going to the WWE? You'd be like, well, no one knows who I am. I don't look, I don't stand out physically as like, just like, oh my God, we see this guy, we got to hire him. Well, I'm going to go pursue my love of wrestling on the indies, make a name for myself, or get noticed a little bit. Then they hire you. So if you nullify that, you're eliminating all these people that can be potential stars. And just look at the last 20 years, you wouldn't have had Seth Rollins. You wouldn't have had John Moxley when he was there. You wouldn't have Kevin Owens. You wouldn't have Sami Zayn. I mean, like half the roster wouldn't have been there. You could argue John Cena was an indie wrestler.
He was.
Yeah.
I saw a documentary of
You could argue Triple H was an indie wrestler. He trained with Killer Kowalski and did Independence before he went to WCW. So
I saw this documentary of John Cena doing the indies.
Yeah. And he had trained in California and stuff. But yeah, I mean, really, once there's no territories, where else were people supposed to wrestle besides independents? Either you just get noticed and you're signed to WWE, or you should just give up. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous if you think about it. But yeah, good. If anyone cares, here's a couple more quick pictures. This is me and Tessa after one of the things. That's me in my costume. And here is a Polaroid they took of me in my full costume. Look very creepy. Why people think of me if they need like a weird hillbilly or a serial killer, I'm not sure. But whatever. So I don't know when that'll come out, but it's very exciting. Steven, what's on your mind?
Well, like I said, we did the title challengers. So I'm optimistic about the future in WWE.
I am too.
Like finally, after how many, it seems, years have we been seeing the same under the Vince McMahon creative direction? As soon as someone takes over, it is almost like a brand new start.
Yeah, it has me excited. I haven't enjoyed it for forever. So
I want to say since like the late 90s, it'd be like 22. So that would be,
and even at that period, that was a period he was forced to push people that really weren't his visions of what a wrestler. During that time, he really wanted to go with Mark Henry and Mark Marrow and guys. And if it wasn't for WCW beating him, who knows? He might have never even went with Stone Cold and Mick Foley and those guys. So, we might not even got that era if it was just simply what McMahon thought was the best. I personally, over the years, I would never deny their success, but never was it really my favorite. In the 80s, I always preferred the WCW or NWA. So,
but there was something on tonight's AEW Dynamite that I hope I never see again, and that was like this. They did a dumpster match.
I enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought it was really fun for lots of reasons.
I might have
fun, and I also thought it was great that they showcased two young acts near the end of the show.
I got a kick out of, was it Mick Foley and Terry Funk took on the New Age Outlaws in that dumpster match.
Yeah, that felt like a callback to it.
But like, it's like 2022 and it's like,
yeah, I totally disagree with you. You can't just have wrestling. What makes it fun is having all these different things. So if you just have nonstop, every wrestling is what's considered like a 5-star. Everyone's doing dives and stuff. That gets boring. I like to have some wackiness on the show. Both these teams aren't really known for like 5-star matches, so you had like a fun, silly match where they were doing like crazy stuff with it was a fun visual. I really liked it. I thought it was a good use of both guys, both teams too.
I think what Steven is referring to was after the match when they Acclaimed pushed the dumpster off the stage. That's what the New Age Outlaws did to Mick Foley during Punk. They're trying to reenact everything WWE.
Nah, I don't know. I think
Even
that's
Acclaimed like
bullshit.
reference WWE.
That's because Billy Gunn's in it. That's his kids.
Yeah, it's his kid. So like,
Right.
although one of the Acclaimed guys did this fantastic elbow drop onto a table, onto one of those guys. That was nice, but like,
why is that okay? So you're okay with hardcore stuff? That's probably more dangerous than all the other stuff they did.
I don't know. I like these big, huge spots, but the only thing about Logan Paul was doing that big splash on the Miz on the table. But like I said, it's 20.
Not everything
move on from dumpster matches.
When I watch wrestling, I like a variety of stuff. I want to be entertained, and this entertained me. And if these guys just had a match, it might be fun, but you'd forget about it. This was something I remembered, and it stood out from the rest of the show. I think that kind of stuff's good in wrestling, to have something that stands out, something different.
I don't know. I
liked it.
I hope it's another year before we see another
No,
one.
I'm not saying you should have dumpster matches every week, but this one-off thing, I thought it was entertaining. It was fun. I had a good time.
I'm looking forward to the coffin match next week.
I am too. Big Darby fan. A big King fan too. Goose, anything on your mind? Oh, I think you might be muted.
Yeah, you're muted. Yeah.
Not really.
Oh.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm kind of all wrestling out week.
Vic Schiavone.
I'm wearing my Memorial NXT in hopes that Triple H will bring NXT back to its glory days.
Leave the memories alone.
I hope so too. Or maybe he'll bring the main show to new glory days.
But seriously, I mean, they don't have a whole lot to work with right now.
No, but I think we'll see some people come back. I don't know. It is an exciting time to see what happens. So, but the main thing is like who is in that spot to and I'm not saying just rush and say we have to dethrone Roman Reigns, because that would be a mistake. But you have to start building up people who will eventually do it. Because he's not even full-time now either. So like I would, like they said in the chat, the group, build up 5 or 6 guys and see who really catches on, and then like plan maybe at WrestleMania or somewhere down the road is when we pull the trigger. But I wouldn't just rush and just have some guy come out and beat him right away. But we'll find out, I guess. Papacito. He's calling up for some pizza.
You have an incoming call.
Hey, sorry about that.
It's all right.
Yeah, awesome. Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. They're calling me back in, but I did want to chime in. You guys saw the Ric Flair thing, right?
I did not see it, but several people here saw it.
Yeah, I made a post on it. Oh my God, so much fucking Foley, bro. Every 20 minutes, they got another shot of Foley taking a dump, talking to his kid, talking to Shivani, saying hi to the Undertaker. Every other shot was Foley.
Bang, bang.
And DDP.
Well, especially during the pre-show.
Well, that's probably because doesn't he do it? He's
God,
the newest guy with Conrad, so like let's try to play.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like I know they're boys, but like come on, bro. Like, and DDP trying to like sneak into every picture possible,
Did Foley dump anyone's table over?
No, he actually he sent his future son-in-law Frank Clown in to get beat up by Fatu.
Oh, boy, good lord.
That's what happened.
Hey, you guys gonna be on a while longer, or you guys?
Probably not real long tonight, but we'll be back our normal time next Tuesday.
Awesome. I just wanted to say hi because they're calling me back in.
All right, no problem. Good to see
Too
you.
much Foley. You
All
guys have a
right.
good night.
And I'll be back on my regular account Friday morning.
Don't say that out loud.
Yeah. Jonathan Jackson!
You never have too much Foley.
Woo! Oh, wait. Woo!
Wait a minute. I think we got Jay Lethal on here.
Woo!
The new nature boy here.
The old nature boy. Didn't see it. Didn't see the
only
match.
nature boy.
But I heard GCW made a
You were
invasion.
pumped.
Nobody showed any appreciation on the panel, by the way. Everybody's like, I don't know who the fuck GCW is. Who's this Nick
Who's
Wayne
Mance
guy?
Warner?
I know what you
Who's Mance Warner? I never heard of him. You fuckers, they're from GCW. How dare you?
Well, I did. To be fair, I will say Lexar put up a GCW ring during it.
Okay, good on you, Lexar. But everybody else, shame. You're supposed to. This is a
GCW
wrestling
represent.
podcast. God damn it! You don't know
Murder, Death, Kill
GCW.
Gang.
I tried to actually get him on the show, the guys, but he fucking big time me. The guy who runs GCW.
I mean, he's busy
Well,
being.
I
And I think it was during
that.
that time when he was in when that guy was like narking the COVID stuff. So
Yeah,
I
they
probably,
taking photos
I
and
probably
stuff.
messaged him at a bad time. He's
They got to
probably-
worry about that whole COVID testing. But
I
keep
know
that-
the owner, but Lauderdale kind of good.
No, tell him to
So-
come on the show.
Yeah, what the fuck, Lexar?
Yeah,
He's a busy man.
fuck him.
He's not that busy. I mean,
Oh,
come on.
It's
now.
not like he's
He's
that.
hanging out with Stephanie.
What's he do? Like 3 shows a year?
Yeah.
dude.
I heard he was in attendance at Madison
Cutting
Square
pizzas with
Garden
Nick
for
Gage.
Monday Night Raw a couple weeks ago. So
Yeah, he was there. That's what I'm saying. He's in good
So
with the
if
WWE.
they start Ric Flair's last match as a promotion, and people start chanting Ric Flair's last match like every show.
clap, clappy, clap. Ric Flair's last match.
Nick fucking Gage.
Well,
Exactly.
we see Ric Flair versus Nick Gage at a future one.
Nick Gage, he gave Flair the endorsement to pass out in the pool of his own blood in the ring. God damn it! And everybody's acting like GCW wasn't there. God damn it, GCW was there.
Conrad should have thrown him a pizza cutter, not those knuckles.
Yeah, what the hell you gonna do
Yeah.
with some damn nucks?
Yeah, we need Nick Gage. This is Ric Flair.
Yeah, for his
Do
last match
you
too.
think Nick could carry Flair to a good match?
Of course, he influenced Flair to pass out
He-
in the pool
he
of his
wrestled
own blood.
Onita.
I already told you.
You think Ric Flair could probably run the ropes
he
there?
wrestled Otani.
What are they gonna have a blood fucking?
Yeah, I was about to say,
It
trust
probably
me,
would.
there's not much rope
Blood.
running in GCW. I mean,
If they,
you just-
his next one should be Abby's last match, and they could do Abby versus Nick Gage.
that's
I
not
like
the same
that.
appeal.
Good luck getting him
I
out
like
of
to
the
see
chair.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're gonna roll him in, and he's gonna be like, they're gonna take Incher's fork and start poking him and shit.
Yeah. Maybe a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Yeah, anywhere in his wheelchair.
He'd surprise you, get up,
I
start
got
dropping
forked
the
by him
elbow.
once.
Yeah,
What
he
if that
just
was
gets
all the work? He just stood up and like, holy shit.
and delivered a
It's a
Canadian
miracle.
destroyer
Yeah, he's doing like Hurricanrana.
this whole
Tell
time.
our Stevens, anything on your mind?
It was a very interesting weekend, and I think Jeff Jarrett has achieved legend status once again, carrying Ric Flair through that.
Legend status.
Once again, has anyone I'm not anti Jeff Jarrett, but has anyone ever really thought Jeff Jarrett's a legend?
Never drew a
Just
dime.
because someone's like existed
He's-
doesn't mean they're a legend.
He's booked everywhere.
That's
and he
fine.
still never drew
I'm
a
not
dime.
saying he's the nobody, but I wouldn't call him like a legend.
Ain't I great?
Ain't he great? But I thought it was cool that Crowbar was there. I wish he had lasted longer in the match, but I think the Ric Flair's last match had a good mix of nostalgia and some new people, and
Woo!
it seemed like SummerSlam wasn't bad. I saw it. A little bit more hopeful now with the power shift, but we'll see. And then this isn't wrestling, but I've been really enjoying Better Call Saul. I know you guys talked
What?
about it. I won't
Oh, Better
go
Call Saul,
into
yeah.
it, but
No, I watch it every week. It's the only show I watch live.
I like that they were showing Gene in black and white episodes. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, I not to get. I think I mentioned this last week with Fincher. I assume that's what these last ones would have been about because they really came to an ending of everything in the Better Call series that led up to Breaking Bad. There was nothing else to do, so I assume and that's what's happening. Is these last few episodes will be about what happens to Saul in the present day.
Saul McGee.
I saw that they were wanting more in the Breaking Bad universe, and the two possible future shows would be a Jen Wexler show and the Chicken Man show. So I would be into both those if either happened.
Gus Fring, yeah, I'd like to see more Gus Fring. I have to rewatch.
The thing with the Jen Wexler, which would be good, is you could go anywhere with it. If you did the rise of Gus Fring, They did a good job with Saul though, because they introduced characters that you didn't know what would happen to. But
yeah, I'm still not. I think I'm
know.
still not sure what happens to Kim. So there's something you can do with her too.
Yeah. That's why if he did a whole show, who knows? But for me, the best show on TV.
I think it's maybe just as enjoyable or more than Breaking Bad. But
I would put it right up there or under. I can't say I think it's better, but it's right up there. And I did not expect that because I like Saul, but it was kind of a comic relief character in the show. So the idea of doing a whole show around him was very odd to me, but it really worked.
You deserve it.
Oh, I got
about that in his book too, which I recommend. Comedy drama.
I got a couple questions.
Oh,
they're wrestling related. Favorite Nick Bockwinkel match and favorite Kurt Hennig match, because they've had matches together.
They go to the famous match where Hennig wins the belt from him on AWA with the roll of nickels or dimes.
Okay, because I got to do some homework for Thursday.
That's their for me. That's their best. Is that the only question?
Yeah, it was kind of like two questions that could be answered by one, obviously, but no, just a comment. I thought it was cool that they had a lot of guest commentators too at the Crockett show. They had Nick Aldis do guest commentary and Ian Riccaboni. I thought it was interesting.
Riccaboni's good. I never seen him until the Ring of Honor show. I like him. I thought Ring of Honor actually has the best commentary.
Yeah, it's not bad. Schiavone was doing the lead commentary.
I like Tony.
David Crockett was.
I do
was
like
there
the
with
mix
him.
up lately on AEW. I think it's good having JR just in the last half.
Right.
I forgot to mention there was one thing. I think it was during the Christian match. Sometimes I don't know what the hell he just starts rambling. He was like, Christian looks like a young Bruce Dern here from Cowboys, and I was like, what the fuck is he talking? And then like Taz just or somebody just kind of cut him off and started talking about something else. It was just like, what in the world is he talking about? There's still something about JR where he can add he had, especially in main events or something, where he had some specialness to it. But there are times, I don't want to bash the guy, but there are times he says stuff. I'm just thinking, what the hell is he going on about?
Bash him, Vince.
I think Jer is good as a backstage interviewer. I'm not saying you can't do commentary, but I think he's just as good.
You say
yeah,
Jarrett?
I think he's a good interviewer.
Oh, really?
When he's doing taped interviews. Do you remember the Mick Foley one? Like that was
that was what,
Mick Foley
30 years ago.
He's a better referee.
I think there's just something about him in a main event where he really adds drama to it and makes it important.
I'm sure Goosey talked about it, but the main event and tag match, Mikey Chioda got knocked out, and so that's why they had a second referee come out there.
He said that would be his last match he ever referees.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did read that.
Until part 2.
I know, right?
I'm sure Charles Robinson's pissed.
Yeah. I'd say he's a good guy. I used to see him all the time at Mad Monster, rocking around buying this stuff. He's like a
I was close enough to yell at him, and he was doing the Ric Flair arm slapping. It was pretty funny.
But he's a good guy at the horror conventions. He'd be with everyone else, just walk around meeting people and buying stuff. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he seems like a big horror collector.
I remember when we took a picture, he's like, "Don't put this on the internet,
or he'll kill you."
Woo! I think at the time he knew we were the wrestling guys. He didn't want it on the internet. I think things are a little more lax now, but at the time it was like,
isn't Charles Robinson still employed by the WWE, or you get let go?
No,
yeah,
I think
so's Jeff. I mean,
I think they're a little more lenient now on the things. Probably even more so now.
Oh yeah.
To play devil's advocate, it will be very sad if WWE just like goes to shit now. Like even if I like it and it just no one watches it and people like, see, they just wanted all this foolishness and they wanted Happy Corbin and they didn't want wrestling on the show. I mean, it's possible. I'll be sad. I like wrestling and not seeing the 24/7 title.
Yeah.
But it's possible. I mean, the guy had longevity, so who knows? Let's see here. Jonathan Jackson, were you disappointed like so many maniacs in the IWC? It's too bad when we've named In Your Head. I like In Your Head, but if IWC was a term, then I would have thought of something to call the podcast something IWC, like internet wrestling. I don't know. I think it would have been a good name for a podcast. You're listening to IWC. But anyway, were you disappointed so many maniacs in the IWC that Flair didn't die in the ring? To be a dark guy, I mean, I do think it would have been a memorable show if, like, holy shit.
He faked a heart attack at one point just to poke Jay Lethal in the eye.
What is this, like, what's the show there? I'm coming for you, Martha.
Sanford and Son.
Sanford and Son.
Yeah, Red Fox.
I'm coming, Elizabeth. Lamont. Okay. No, legit. I've seen around Twitter and a lot of Facebook groups, people were really just saying they got ripped off because Rick didn't die in the ring, and I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, are you insane?
Yeah,
exactly. I'm like,
he's almost dead. Like
this
Prince
is the
Brian.
IWC. They want to see blood. They want to see old men die in the ring.
Well, hopefully when the day comes, and hopefully it's a long time from now, decades from now, but hopefully when the time comes, live death here on In Your Head for Jackie Jones. That's the way I want to go out. Dying on In Your Head.
Answering Lesnar.
We get to Nikhil's questions and I just die. That would probably be interesting.
Just overdose during the question.
Oh, Jesus.
But I'm saying decades from now. Decades. Yeah, like 80 years from now when I'm in my 130s.
Can you imagine 94-year?
I'm still asking these. Do you remember Sanford and Son?
Nah, it'd be like, do you remember Theory and shit? It's like, oh god.
You remember this apron bump from this?
What are your favorite memories of Eric from the Viking Raiders? Eric just became a grandfather. What are your
favorite Jake something match?
Oh man.
Yes.
It's some TV show that none of us watched. Let's see. Jonathan Jackson. I know, but Nikhil's a good man. I'll be seeing him here in a few weeks.
Really? You're gonna go to lunch with him?
Yeah, I'll be going to London for the premiere of my films. It's very exciting times. I'll be staying in Soho. Dobbs is telling me that's where all the I'll clean this up, but people of an ulterior lifestyle live where I'm staying. But that's fine by me. I don't care.
All the crackheads.
Nothing wrong with that.
all the homosexuals, he says. But I'd been to Soho. I loved it. Lots of it's a very artistic place and tons of little restaurants.
Autistic. I'm just kidding.
Oh, artistic.
And my room has soundproof and no windows, so I can do anything what I want in there. No one.
Yep. So much murder.
Tinfoil the windows.
You scream. There are no windows. I booked a room that's no windows and soundproof.
Mm.
So no one will ever hear from Nikhil again.
I know
Nobody will hear
Dobbs and Nikhil are gonna have one hell of a time.
That's gonna be the good stuff video later.
Just so people know, that's actually a thing there. I didn't know this at the time. I just bought it because it was inexpensive, but it's for people who travel so you can sleep well. No, the light's not shining in and soundproof. And it's real small. It's got a bed and a bathroom, but that's all I need. I don't need all this other bullshit. I ain't going to be in there very long. Jonathan Jackson, I know this will be a short show, if any. So give the In Your Head 500 rundown tonight. 500 Lulu Pencil, which I did research, and Lulu Pencil is a member of the Headyverse under an assumed identity. Not her shoot name, Lulu Pencil.
You deserve it.
499 Wacko Bob.
Wacko Bob. Ekin Bob.
502.
498 The Big Mosh.
Keeping the crew together.
497. Oh, we'll do the rest next week. We'll do 3 a week.
Oh, follow-up question.
3 a week until Jack's nephew's doing it. 30, 20.
What was
the
question?
I listened to the Nick Bockwinkel interview. How was he before and after and during the show? Like, how was he like to?
Oh, he's a very nice guy. Actually, really nice guy. We met him at FanFest a couple times. The last time we saw him was unfortunately when he started to suffer from Alzheimer's. So you can tell there's still a difference. There's 2 interviews. There's one interview on there. Then there's also he's part of the tribute I did to Mad Dog Vachon. And unfortunately, that one I really edited down because he was not doing well mentally. And so I didn't want to make them, look bad. He even asked me and stuff to do that but really nice guy. And he's really sad, that's such a smart guy, had issues at the end of his life, but really nice guy. And he's also got really came off like a star when you'd see him. That's something I did notice when I started doing the conventions, where the older wrestlers carried themselves like stars, and a lot of the younger guys did not. And I guess there's something to be said about being a guy that like you could walk up to and seems like a normal guy. But the guys from the other generation seemed like actual stars from like. I'm not saying intimidating, like they're going to beat you up, but they seem like a big deal, like almost like a movie star, or it's like there's something to them. Then I remember seeing.
I got that feeling.
Joe and like nothing against Samoa Joe, but he really, he's wearing flip flops and like short, and he just seemed like a guy, which is fine, but it wasn't the same appeal. It wasn't like this guy's got like a big aura around him.
Was he still selling insurance at that time?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I was watching old interviews. Would you say he's like one of the most underrated top champions?
Well, no, because I think by his peers he's very well rated.
Sure.
But I would think a better term would be someone who, for modern fans, I wouldn't say underrated either, because they probably just don't know about him. Probably is not seen as much because who watches like AEW stuff like today. So he wasn't on the top of the promotion like when like a lot of people here would have grew up. I mean, honestly, I saw him the tail end of his career in the 80s when I was watching AEW was on my TV. So that's a problem with as you go further along, people are only going to really know WWF and WCW probably. A lot of the stuff from other territories will be forgotten.
Yeah, I got to watch some Kirk Hennig later and figured I'd ask about Bockwinkel.
Because, like, would I say Vern Gagne is underrated? I mean, no, but like, how many people are really going to talk about Vern Gagne after,
that aren't Midwestern?
People saw him, start to pass away. But he's way before my day, Vern Gagne. See here. But I actually really like Nick Bockwinkel. When I started watching wrestling, he was a guy like Christian. Where were we? Lexar, thoughts on Bailey's new squad? Dakota Sky, and I like it. I think it's cool, and I think it was a good visual of like, because weren't two of them, or at least one of them, let go and then brought back. I think it's a good visual. It's like we're taking the women's division seriously, and this is a new era, and people who know that like these are Triple H's people. So I think it's good.
Yeah.
And that division needed a good shot in the arm of new people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they have a lot of there's always talk about doing these women's show up with all the women. I always think that's a bad idea. But I think it's best just to showcase the women that are really good and not showcase. I mean, honestly, that should be all the show. Showcase the people that are good, and people that aren't very good, you don't showcase.
I think Kai made the return, and Io Shirai got a new name, which is fine. But I'd like to see Io in there with Asuka because they're on the same brand.
You just want to see the Asians fight. You want to see Asian on Asian crime.
Oh.
Well, I can't confirm or deny, but they're also two of the best wrestlers in that company, regardless.
Well, I'm a big Asuka fan. I don't know. I just haven't seen enough of the other person to know.
I think Io's one of the top 5 of that company for sure.
Lexar, Jonathan Gresham argued that he should be positioned better in Ring of Honor by pointing out his ranking in Pro Wrestling Illustrated 500. I love this story. I think this is just awesome. It makes me laugh. And I know after I finished the In Your Head 500, which it wouldn't be fair to do without Incher here, so we should really wait. Maybe we'll do that next week. But people are going to start using that as leverage. You know, Jonathan Jackson, he'd be like, hey, man, I'm ranked so-and-so. But, you know, Buck Winchester, the supposed legend, where is he on the 500, you know? So I could, you know, it could be, people could start using it. But I had nothing against Gresham before all of this, but I don't know. I mean, losing to this guy, not only is he a foot taller, but he's a legend of Ring of Honor, Claudio Castagnoli. I mean, I never heard anyone say like anything. Like, I think he's a respected guy amongst wrestlers themselves. People know he's like one of the all-time best in the ring of, you know, people that are alive today. There's, of all the people to like think you shouldn't lose to, that's like one of the last people in the world that you should have a problem with. And I don't think he did himself any favors, because like, would I want to use him again after this? No. But if let's say they did this, and I can understand being up, obviously you're disappointed losing the title, but let's say they told you this and you're like, okay, I'm going to go out there and put on the best match I can for this opening match or first Ring of Honor pay-per-view under AEW. He goes out there, puts on a hell of a performance with Claudio, puts a guy over like $1 million. Are they more likely to use him then? I go like, oh man, this guy really impressed us and, you know, helped us out. Let's keep using the guy. Now the opposite, probably like, probably not going to use this guy anymore.
Well,
what do we see? The Infinity?
To infinity.
And beyond!
Well, Jack, I'm up past my bedtime, so I'm going to tap out here.
Good night. Thank you for coming on. You're a good man. Thank you for doing the Raw Report. Man, I'm going to try to watch it. I would have watched it this week, but I actually went to the casino the other night, and then I got a comp room, and so I don't know why I got a comp. But anyway, so then I spent a couple nights.
Because they saw, oh shit, it's Jackie Jones. We gotta get this guy.
I think Lexar wanted to know if he was doing the helicopter under his robe.
Oh shit. I don't know if you really want to.
I got in that walk-in tub, and then I called it the propeller. Use promo code Jackie Jones and save 5% on my OnlyFans.
Because propeller is not the right code.
All right. Let's see here. Lexar, the ratings of AEW Rampage has been down, and there was fans leaving during last week's tapings. Are you worried? Yeah, I mentioned this on the thing. I'll go over it again briefly, but I talked about it earlier. I was at that show, and I think the problem, there's lots of problems with Rampage. Ever since it started, I think the time is death. Like, you're never going to be a big hit like Friday nights. It's just not going to like catch on. But I've been to Rampage shows that were really good and then very hot, like that night where they made the start of Wheeler Yuta, and obviously the show with Punk was big. But the problem is, so you go there and they tape dark and dark elevation. But when you're at a show, you expect to see like dark matches, preliminary matches before the big show. So you're just happy to be there, so you're going to be into those. Then you watch Dynamite, which is a really good show when they have the big stars, the main event, and then immediately after that, they redo the ring. So there's like a 5-minute break of nothing happened, a 5-10 minute break, and then they start Rampage, and they're telling you the Rampage matches, and they're like, it was a really poor lineup, honestly. Besides the first match, it kind of went reverse order. Like they just had like they had the best friends match, and they had like matches that were just like kind of job people. Like they were fine matches, but nothing anyone would care about. But the point is, you don't watch like the whole show and then watch preliminary matches, because after the Dynamite, you don't want to then just sit there and watch just some matches with people that aren't really pushed or anything.
Right.
So then you just like leave, and you've already been there for 3 hours. It's like, well, if it's a 4-hour show and the end's the main event and stuff, you're gonna sit there. But if the last hour is like Ethan Page versus some job guy, like, I don't want to. Who really cares about this?
Right.
I'm a big AEW fan. I was like, man, I don't care about this. I really think they should revamp Rampage. Either record Rampage before Dynamite, and then just Dynamite should be the end and everyone leaves, and then you could record those darks on something else, or record them in a studio or something. I don't think it's ever going to be big on Friday nights anyway, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough fucking market, I'll tell you.
Thursday Night Thunder.
Yeah, just wait until they start recording a women's show.
Yeah, I think this idea of adding.
Oh my god, what is that going to be? Sunday at fucking 3 a.m?
And there are some, like I mentioned on the show tonight, the tag team match tonight, Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm and Thunder Rosa. To me, that was a showcase of the women you should push in AEW, and they're all really good, and the crowd was really into it. But then you have a lot of people that they're just either super green and not ready, or just really not good. And if you did a whole show just women, you're gonna have a bunch of people that no one really wants to see or anything. So that doesn't do anyone any good. I don't think an all women show makes any sense.
Oh boy.
Thoughts on Ric Flair's last match? We just went over, but do we think it's his last match? Woo! That's an interesting question, because if this did well, the idea, there's two things there. The money, if he's off, I made so much money off this, can I do another one, make more money? And also out there performing, does that light something under him? It's like, I haven't done this in years. Now he remembers this. I want to do it again. So you have the combination of, I can do it again, make a whole bunch of money, and also perform in front of the people again. I don't know.
I think at most, if they do it again, it'd have to be a 6-man tag, because he looked very blown up and very gassed out.
Well, you just start training. Like Ric Flair would train for a whole year after every.
Yeah, I think he got hurt during training, and just what might have bothered him. But
it was worth seeing here. Cesaro was ranked number 32 in the PWI 500.
But I think they could creatively come up with a reason to do it again, because he didn't raise his arm during the pin. But I don't know. If they had a good opponent for Flair, it seemed like Ricky
Nick
Steamboat turned him
Gage.
down. Yeah. Maybe
So,
if they had like a regular rules
would Gresham
match,
have refused to lose to Adam Page too?
Yep. Everybody who's under 20. I mean, you know, Orange Cassidy, nope.
Ric Flair
Laredo
versus
Kid,
Jacob
nope.
Fatu. I'm just kidding.
Oh, gee. Where's Jared on this list? I wonder.
Yeah, he's probably not, he moved up this year.
Oh, yeah, nowhere. Okay, so there's no Jared.
come on.
What about Flair? Oh, nope, no Flair. Okay, let's see what else do we
Adam
got?
Page, that's Hangman, isn't it?
Oh, look, Jay Lethal.
Yeah,
He's
yeah, yeah.
110.
Why is he? You would think he'd been higher. He was champion during the year.
Jeff Jarrett should be much higher.
There you go, Jay Lethal. He was there.
Richard Holiday.
The legend Richard Holiday. You don't know?
Oh, you mean it's not Dick Holiday?
Who the fuck?
Oh, but Fred Yehi. I can see that one though. Fred
Who?
Yehi.
What the fuck?
Andrade. He's 176.
Whoa.
Gallows.
Ilya Dragunov.
Isn't Flamita a woman?
Is it Keno? One of the card game? What the hell?
Jordan.
Oh, there's Jordan Grace. Oh shit.
Oh,
Where's
Whoa.
Benoit? Where's
Benoit's probably higher than her, and he's been
Yeah.
dead for years.
Oh, I thought he was 501.
501.
It's so weird. She makes me want to like say something good about Benoit. That's very weird. Where the hell was I? Lexar, I'm late on this topic, but what are your thoughts on WWE Evil documentaries? You know what? I've not watched any of them, but I'd probably like them. I do like wrestling documentaries.
Probably a mixed bag. Like some episodes are good and some are whatever.
New
It's a
table.
good, it's a
of-
good idea.
Yeah, I should probably check them out sometime. New table of 3 episodes. I've not watched any. Again, I'd probably like them, but I haven't watched. I'm very bad on. The problem is once you like miss stuff, it's hard to get back into it. Because then it's like, for me anyway, because I'm like a completionist. If I watch something, I want to watch the whole thing. I don't want to watch just one like random episode. So I'd have to
I
go back
think-
and watch all of them.
I think Kyra Township should do a table for 3 type podcast. And like you have
How many fucking
maybe-
podcasts does guy need to do?
no, I just mean like a one off or like the
Welcome to the
Patreon.
Conrad Townsend podcast.
like the network, like Peacock and Network have. I think they could do something similar with their.
The current A&E biography series on WWE superstars. I think I did watch them the first year.
I saw the Undertaker one. That was really good. And then I haven't seen the ones after really, except maybe Brett.
One of the newer ones was on the Bella twins.
I didn't watch that one.
They're gonna have.
I think Goldberg was
That
the
one
most
should be
recent
like
one.
a 5-part, super series. Bella
They're
twins.
gonna have Lex Luger one this Sunday.
Released the
Ooh.
Snyder cut.
They're gonna have Lex Luger this Sunday.
Oh, Luger. Well, I'd be interested in that. I'm a Luger fan. I know he gets bad stuff.
He was good in person. He was telling me the
He's always a
Brody.
really nice guy, very humble.
Oh yeah, he was telling me the Bruiser Brody story, even though he's probably told it hundreds of times.
Yeah. Did Jack play the Mega Millions lately? Was that the one that was like 1.2 billion?
Yeah, that cashed in Chicago.
Yeah, I just got like a.
Was it Chi-Town Matt?
Maybe, I don't know. I haven't talked to him lately. Maybe. How did Jack get into? It seemed like, don't you ask me this every week? How did Jack get into independent film industry?
He won the lotto.
Yeah.
Well, this how I got into it was Without Your Head,
Blue Sicily.
horror movie podcast, and I would go to conventions and festivals. I started to do more festivals, and I would just hang out with people. And after the you go to the after parties and you hang out with other filmmakers. Well, yeah, at the time I was a filmmaker, so you hang out with filmmakers. Stuff, and people like you, and if people like you, they want to be around you and work with you. And so they asked, first thing I did was a short film, Umbilicus Desidero, and then that played festivals and actually did really well. I have a trophy here, won several trophy awards, and then from there I was asked to do behind the scenes for a film and be in a couple things, and then from there it was just the idea came up to produce a film, and since I had a lot of connections to horror icons, and it just all came together. But my advice would be go to festivals. Two things: either go to festivals if you actually want to work in independent horror movies. Go to the festivals, and this would be good if you're any level. So if you're an actor, if you're a director, if you're a cinematographer, whatever, go to festivals, and that's a good place to interact with other filmmakers, and then you can collaborate on events. You also see other people's works, and also people think you got to live in LA or New York or maybe Atlanta, but there's a independent film community probably wherever you are in the big city. Find them. Most of these people are really cool about working together. You're not going to get like money doing this, but go and
They're not going to turn into Steven Spielberg.
no, but you'll have a good time.
I got a question.
The point was go on a film set, and they always need people. They need crew members, and then
extras.
you get to learn the basics of making a movie, and you also get to interact with everybody, and which can lead to other things or might not lead to anything. But at the very least, you'd get in there and you could start making stuff with people. But if you're thinking about making money in independent film, it's very unlikely.
What's the best market for independent filmmaking?
Well,
in the Southeast?
The problem is
Atlanta.
I wouldn't know, but I think there's Atlanta has a big community because especially from The Walking Dead. But honestly, I think just about every community has some type of just about every big city probably has some type of film.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of in Boston and New England, but the problem with everyone I know in especially in independent film today is like the way people used to make money is you sell stuff on physical media, but that's a thing of the past for the most part, unless you're restoring old classic films, and then people collectors will buy that kind of stuff. But for like a new movie, and then streaming, because Amazon used to pay really well, but they don't pay hardly anything anymore, and Redbox is kind of going away. Most people say Tubi's good, but it's a hard thing to make money with. Hopefully our movie makes money, because I signed a producer deal where I get 10% of all profits, which if it makes anything could actually come into good money, even if it made a small profit, or it could mean absolutely nothing. So, but I did it for the experiences.
What do you think is the best festival? It's like, I would assume somewhere in Florida, maybe, if it's not Northeast.
No, the best, the biggest. Well, you mean like genre fest or just like independent? For genre fest, it's like horror and stuff. It would be the big ones are Fright Fest that we're going to. Fright Fest, South by Southwest in Texas, Fantasia Fest in Canada, and Scream Fest in LA, and then Stitches in Spain. Those are the big ones, because we actually wanted a big premiere for this film, so we sent it to the 5 major ones, and luckily we got picked up by Fright Fest.
Cool.
Let's see here, but there are a lot of cool festivals, outside the major ones, and a lot of this, I would say smaller ones, but a lot of the ones that are under the top ones, they have a nice community feel, like Boston Underground Film Festival and Buffalo Dreams Fantastic Film Festival, South Texas Underground Film Festival, where it's a lot of the local people and they always come, and so there's like a nice community feel. I like that.
I guess the foreign language films are harder to get into. I guess maybe that's like somewhere in France where they do.
No, I mean they nowadays there's a foreign stuff plays everywhere. And then streaming sites like Shudder plays a lot of foreign stuff, so it's becoming like a smaller world where it's easier to see all these things. I've been to lots of. Well, when I went to South Texas Underground Film Festival, there was a filmmaker there from China, who I think that's who gave me COVID. But it's a good time.
Just a theory.
Lexar, if there was an AEW toaster, would Jack buy it? No. Nah. I don't really eat toast because I try not to eat carbs.
Maybe put Jamie Hayter on some toast.
Hey
Butter
now.
up.
Hey now. Gonna eat some jelly off her ass is what you're saying.
Trying to eat some carbs.
Let's see. Lexar, did Vic Schiavone and Face Schiavone enjoy the muggy weather while attending WWE SummerSlam?
We did not go up to see SummerSlam because it was pouring. It poured all day where I was. And if you saw the setup, they had put a big covering over the ring in like the first few rows. So from where we would have been, we'd have been looking all night at this thing covering the ring.
Oh, jeez.
So we were better, stayed home, had pizza, had a good time.
Much cheaper for tickets and stuff.
Well, I mean, tickets were, it was $25, but
Oh,
I mean, there would have been more good seats available had they not closed the whole side of the stadium. But that's another story.
Either you
Got to protect the hard can.
Yeah.
Apparently, we have
Oh,
Scott Hall and Eddie Guerrero in the chat from heaven. It's very
whoa. Hey.
Hey, yo.
well. At least we know that they're doing well. They're not.
Yeah, right.
They're not in purgatory.
Where was I? Oh, the toaster. Oh yeah, it was fun. When I got the tickets for Dynamite in Worcester, they were only $29, but then there was an $18 fee per ticket because ordering them on online. I was like, come on, $18 each, like another. I get 3 tickets for the first. Like, come on.
That'll teach you.
Will Jack fight Will Smith for Chris Rock? Hell yeah.
Yeah, sure.
That guy's ass. All right.
Go for a double leg.
Nikhil Callahan.
Kill.
Nikhil wants to know, in 2019, I was given the opportunity to jump on the train with Tony Khan. He was very gracious to me. He gave me a phone call and we had a good conversation. Out of loyalty and gratitude, I decided to stay with NWA Power. Nick Aldis via Busted Open Radio. What are my thoughts? I'd say he's pretty fucking stupid.
What an idiot.
And then since then, the Smashing Pumpkins guy there, Billy Corgan, he was like saying like he was like one of his least favorite people to deal with. I guess he's like really, really hard to deal with. So
That's what loyalty buys you.
yeah, I can see that because like he's a guy that people always think should be bigger, and he never. Man, we've got dueling Lexars.
Whoa.
We're gonna get 0 Lexars because I'm out. I
What the hell, you gonna be a bitch?
Check
I
out
got
one.
a doctor's appointment tomorrow at 10 in the morning.
That's like 9.5 hours.
I think that's why there's another Lexar.
How many hours
Another
of sleep
Lexar.
do you need?
Hey, at least the dentist appointment is tomorrow, and not
Yeah, it's like I've got a dentist appointment in 3
I think
weeks
it's
from
next
now. And my mom's going away next month.
so I can jerk off to that.
I gotta wash my underwear.
Don't worry, Lexar's still here.
Hell yeah, man! He's just
In
looking
spirit.
at us. I'm kind of scared. He's just.
Oh,
You don't want
I
to.
had a little lamp over here, but it broke. I need some different because now it's got this light, weird shadow, but we'll figure it out. Thoughts on this comment? Eric Bischoff feels that AEW promos have no connection to the character of the audience.
What?
That one doesn't. That one really, like, you can say stuff about AEW, but that one's really odd because that's one thing they really have going for them is most of the people really do connect to the audience, like
especially Mexcaster.
like they're I mean, lots of the people. I've been to many shows live, and like the crowd really loves the audience. That's a really weird one. That doesn't make much sense to me because even people who don't like AEW, like Jim Cornette, will always say, "Well, it appeals to those people." But to say like it doesn't appeal to the people, that really does. That one doesn't make sense.
You people.
Bischoff's just still pissed he didn't get rehired.
He is like, I think it's true. I think, yeah, he says a lot of silly things. The thing is, when people start that kind of stuff, I think it's hard then to take if they have valid criticism seriously. That's always my problem with the Cornette stuff because some of it's clearly like he just has this crazy bias towards people, but then it's hard to take when he does say something that's viable that you could like use constructive criticism. It's hard to take that seriously. Thoughts on this comment? Eric Bischoff, AEW is not competition to WWE, no matter how much Tony Khan wants to believe it is. Again, that's kind of silly because they've actually bought, well, not bought people, but the people have left and gone to WWE. So
bought and sold their asses.
I think TV in general.
The idea of competition, if people actually have can leave your company, go somewhere else, and it is competition.
Well, also they mentioned when the Wednesday night feud was going on,
right.
Like they said it was a marathon, not a sprint, so that's an admission right there that they were competition.
Yeah, and they knew what they were doing with anyone who thinks otherwise is just really being naive. But the whole idea of even putting NXT on TV the same night as Dynamite was starting, it was also, they knew they were doing it with Dynamite with NXT for a couple of reasons. Man, Jonathan Jackson's looking pissed. Because like it's that same ball. It's even their version of NXT was like, we're making our cool our own indie wrestling promotion, and then we're going to put up against the new indie promotion. And then the idea, well, if they do beat us, we can just say it's our developmental, so they had a built-in excuse there. Thoughts on this comment? Chris Jericho says Star Wars fans and wrestling fans are very similar, complain about everything but buy everything. I get that sometimes when I say about wrestling. I think the big difference is wrestling there's like hours and hours of it every week. And there's like 9 movies, maybe 12. I don't know. With all this, there's not that many anyway. So if you watch wrestling every week and complain, if you watched all of it, you'd be watching like 15 hours or something every week. Where
probably more than that.
Yeah, if I watched this every time a new Star Wars movie came out and I didn't like it, it'd be like, yeah, it's like 2 hours of my time every few years. It's such a big difference. And you buy one ticket to go see the new Star Wars movie that costs like $12. I actually have the AMC app. I pay $20 a month, and so I can see 3 movies a week. But I'm just saying that the difference is, if there was 15 hours of Star Wars on every week, then you could compare them. But the way they set up, you can't really compare them.
Plus, there aren't any people wishing that whoever plays Anakin Skywalker, he dies on set.
That's very true. Because I haven't really liked most of the new Star Wars. Honestly, I liked one of them. Really all right. I didn't like the last 2.
When you finished.
But I went and paid to see them. But yeah, it was like one ticket. It's not like I sat there for hours and hours for decades watching it.
Pointing out the botches.
Yeah.
Great shot burst.
Daddy Magic from the Jericho Appreciation. I'm a big fan of Daddy Magic. I think that's a guy you could do more with. Daddy Magic from the Jericho Appreciation Society took to Twitter over the weekend to celebrate his 1-year anniversary in AEW. He writes, 1 year ago tonight, we got the phone call to come join AEW. 4 nights later, we showed up on Dynamite. personally, professionally, it's been the most fulfilling 12 months of my life. A wild ride.
Which one is Daddy Magic again?
He's the bigger guy of 2.0.
Gun chewer.
I'm a huge fan. This guy, he has this weirdest mannerisms. He's very much like an 80s wrestler. He's always kind of chewing the scenery. And he was the guy this week. He said, how does did people want to know how Daddy Magic, what makes Daddy Magic's nipples hard? And I was like, hell yeah. This is my kind of wrestler. This guy rules. This guy has tons of charisma. I'm a big fan. And he's always just kind of looking at, there's something about him. I like the man.
He does the introduction for the entrance music too, the JAS.
I am a Daddy Magic fan.
I haven't seen Dynamite in like 3 months. I need to just look at it.
This guy's the man. Even if he's not doing anything a promo, he's always just kind of just his mannerisms, like he's trying to stand out. I like him. Undisputed Elite are back this week. What do you think they'll say about the trios tournament? Well, we already found out. It was Hangman Page's birthday. Have you enjoyed his AEW run? Some of it. I don't think he had the best title run, but I'm upset Will Hobbs turned on Ricky Starks. What a run. Favorite memories of Team Taz. I thought they just started to get good. So two thoughts there. I thought they just started to get good. So I guess if you're going to split them up, it was a surprise. But I think you could have got more out of them as a team. But I do think I think both of them have really improved a lot.
I think it elevated Hook unintentionally because CM Punk was like sent Hook, and that kind of got viral. So that was when he was with Team Taz.
There's just something about Hook people really, gravitated.
Yeah, quiet charisma.
All three of those guys really are good. I think I would have kept the whole thing together for a little while longer, but I'm happy to see all three of them do well if they do. Especially with the trios thing starting, that would have been a good trios for that the Team Taz, Hook,
exactly,
Powerhouse Hobbs and Starks. Have you seen the film Baby Driver starring John Hamm? And what are your favorite memories of Baby Driver?
No.
Or John Hamm.
They have
What?
I'm sure it's great. 3 years ago today, Raw Underground debuted.
Wow.
What are your fond memories?
He does that. That was one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Josh Barnett did it better with GCW. It was called Bloodsport.
That was 3 years ago already, though. Man, doesn't seem that long.
Damn, now Shane's fired.
2 years ago. 2 years.
Yeah.
Shane McMahon?
They should have had Killer Cross and David Boy Smith Jr. do a Raw Underground. Then I'd be paying to see that.
I think last week's Dynamite was a great episode and one of their best of the year. What did you think? I had a good time. I was there live. Kevin Owens hasn't won any type of belt for 5 years. Does this mean they're underusing him?
He won the extended contract belt.
He was just in the main event of WrestleMania with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, and then he did absolutely nothing since then. That's what I thought. I think they were like, if you resign,
sure,
you're going to be in this. You're going to have this awesome spot, which he did. And if you grew up a wrestling fan and like you're in the main event of WrestleMania with Austin, it's going to be huge. But it's really mind-boggling. But that they've, I don't think I've even seen him since then. Because I don't watch a paper.
Just the Elias stuff.
As a Vince thing, he was like, "Yeah, sure, we'll get you the Stone Cold spot. Then you're gonna eat shit and like the taste of it."
Very weird.
You're gonna work with Jeff Jarrett 2.0.
In 2002, right after the first draft, Ric Flair, the owner of Raw, and Vince was for SmackDown. Did you enjoy the storyline? Nah.
I think they had a match at one point.
The 2022 draft. God, who gives a fuck about the draft? Does anyone really get excited about the draft?
Not anymore.
Lexar, maybe, I don't know.
Which person would you like to see drafted to which? Who gives a shit? Do they even stick to it anyway?
You got to cover up your window. with the towel, and that way you'll eliminate the draft.
I want to see Elias get drafted to Raw. I don't know.
Drafted to Raw Underground.
Ezekiel the next.
I watched Thor: Love and Thunder in the cinema. I give it 6.5 out of 10. Yeah, I thought the comedy was really terrible in it.
How was Christian Bale?
Oh, he's great. He was. I thought it was very odd because he was so good in it, and the villain is really dark. Like he's the God killer, and talk about like gods are just like fake.
Yeah, God Butcher.
And so, and then the rest of it's like really dumb comedy. So it's a very bizarre contrast to have like a really dark, like serious villain, and then like a bunch of silly comedy. Is very bizarre.
Right.
Do you think any memories of the table? Do you have any memories of the table dumpster match between the Dudley Boys against X-Pac and Road Dogg and Tori at King of the Ring 2000? Not really.
No.
Sorry, what happened?
The 2000 dumpster match.
Between Tori or something. Ooh.
The
Was
only
it a
dumpster, I
dumpster
thought it
fire?
was a dumpster. I actually don't even remember that one at all. Now I think about it, because I thought it was dumpster match with somebody else. I don't know. Sorry, Nikhil. I'm sorry to let you down. I don't have any memories of this. How would you rate tonight's episode of Dynamite out of 10? I don't know about a 10, but I thought it was a good show. I enjoyed it. I just went over it match by match, rewind and listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
What's the probability? This is from Frank O'Brien. What's the probability that Vince has a shoot bastard son? Maybe he got one of them pregnant. Well, not when he's like in the 70s, probably not.
Rocky Johnson probably has a lot of kids. They're doing a show on that.
Vince is shooting blanks.
Yeah, probably. All those years of steroids.
Maybe he bought them all with hush money.
He bought off the kids. He was like, "Shut up."
This Bob.
Here's your child support.
I don't know. I think in this day and age, we probably would have heard about it if he
Wait, the Hornswoggle doesn't count?
could be. All right. Anything else? That was all the questions this week. Thank you, fellas. I did like this. I saw on Facebook, Gerald Briscoe posted a picture. I'm 75 years old and I have a big announcement. This is my last match. And he posted a picture actually holding a match that was lit.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's kind of funny.
That was cute. I wonder, does he have heat with Ric Flair?
It did draw just as much as Flair's last match did.
Well, that'd be very symbolic.
It got a lot of likes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that was cool. I don't know anything else. Where did this picture come from of Hogan like leaving like this truck? Do you see this? Let me share it. Like in this big 18-wheeler.
Oh,
Gotta make money somehow, brother.
It's one mother trucker.
that was never like nobody questioned is you doing a movie? Is you? No.
I like that he clearly sees someone's taking this picture, so he starts mugging for the camera.
I'm shocked you thought you were the pose.
Yeah, I doubt
He's
it's
got
for
kind of a
movie.
That
combination
don't
of
work
all
for
the
me,
movies.
brother.
He's got black and white NWO, but then he's also got like red and yellow.
He doesn't know which one he wants to be.
He's a tweener.
I'm pretty sure those yellow laces and the black boots, that's like that's what skinheads wear in the Doc Martens.
Uh-oh.
Whoa. Oh, we don't have intro here to compare. No.
Hey, maybe he has a trunking company. I mean, they make good money, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Not sure why he chose that, but
I posted this because on my Facebook and Instagram, I noticed that WWE kept advertising all these Vince McMahon t-shirts. If people think I'm an asshole, congratulations, I am. There was 2 different asshole Vince McMahon shirts, and they weren't on clearance; they were full price.
Oh, I was just about to
sponsored
say,
ads on Facebook and Instagram. I was like, man, it's kind of whacked, isn't it?
because I know they
I got a
used to do
question.
the stuff for clearance with like Bray Wyatt, but yeah, I wonder why they're just pump out all events material we can until
Yeah. I took a screenshot of it, and it was from WWE itself. It was a sponsored WWE ad on Facebook. Show your WWE fandom, and it was men's black $1 billion asshole. And then I saw someone else posted the same thing. It was a similar thing. It was a different shirt.
yeah.
Bucks.
Jesus.
Who would wear that?
They're trying to milk it for as much as they can, man. I mean, he's out of the company, so it's like, fuck it, we might as well just sell all his merch.
But they're they're trying to capitalize on all this bad press. So
I know, right?
Up out the shirts.
If people think I'm a rapist, you're right.
Who would wear that in public?
I thought you meant a therapist.
I always wonder that. Like, I'll wear some weird shirts with horror stuff on, but I don't want to wear stuff that's like I'm an ass or any, like big, just bold letters, asshole on it and stuff. Like,
I'm a philanthropist.
Mm-hmm. Or fuck, like someone up the street here has this giant banner that says "fuck" the president on it. It's like there's like kids around here. Like, you know, you could put something else. I mean,
Somebody
didn't
bought
specify
ad
which
space to
country.
put that up.
huh?
We gotta.
They put it on their barn. It's just this giant. I mean, it's
Oh,
giant.
yeah.
Just like,
They
come
said
on,
fuck the
man.
kids. I thought they bought like a billboard. Like how did they get that passed?
Don't let Tazo hear this.
There's a guy that's right across the street from where I am. He put this big flagpole up and put a big flag.
Yeah, it's just like
This is Alabama. I don't see how that could fly here. But.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, you could put up something for whoever you want to vote for, but like, I don't know, this big like fuck whoever. Like, it's kind of messed up. Like I said, there's kids around here. They might have kids themselves. I don't know.
A bunch of weirdos. I figure it's private property. What are you gonna do about it?
I see there's here's more McMahon stuff. I just went to WWE to check it out, and on the front page of WWE Shop Zone, they have Legends and Rivals, and they have
McMahon.
Bischoff versus McMahon shirt. That's interesting that it's
They gotta make so they're probably fucking gotta soften the billions I'm gonna lose in this fucking lawsuits, dude.
I didn't realize they're billing this shirt as entertainment versus wrestling. That's kind of interesting.
I was gonna say that's probably the worst way to make the money back. T-shirts.
Yeah,
Chris
they
Jericho is
make
gonna
like
cease and
$2 a
desist.
shirt. Like, what's the profit margin?
Zero.
Poor Luger. I'd wear a Luger shirt. Austin Rock, 20 cents. Lesnar or Kurt Angle.
Everybody
Here you
who's
go.
not with the company.
They've got like Lesnar and Angle, and then you've got this a Bella Army shirt. The Legends.
After that
Should be
special from the
Bella
Bellas, yeah, they should be flying off the shelves.
Where's the John Laurinaitis merch?
Yeah, where's the fuck? What the fuck?
Oh yeah, that's right. I wanted to say about
Johnny Ace.
I want to
People
say
power.
about Johnny Ace. He was the reason why Dakota Kai got let go. He was
Oh,
telling her,
really?
yeah, he's like, yeah, you're not really that impressive. So sorry, go get some tit surgery. I know he probably didn't say that, but
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he meant.
Yeah.
So her being back is pretty cool.
Oh, I got a question.
Like I said, I think it was a good visual. It was really kind of for the people who know, like, things are different now.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jack.
What's that?
If you could resurrect any dead territory or brand, which one would it be? AWA, just for a one-off, like Jim Crockett Promotions just did
Oh,
recently.
for one off. I was gonna say if I was gonna, just me personally, I really like I was probably most connected to ECW in the 90s. But if you're just gonna do one show,
Yeah.
I don't know, an AEW show would be fun. But probably like a Crockett era NWA. Yeah.
With Nick
That was,
Gage as the headline.
When I was a kid in the 80s, that was my favorite, and then in the 90s, I liked ECW.
Yeah, ECW was good.
But I like Crockett era 80s. Bring it back. I guess they kind of did that for already though.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody in AEW could get one last match out of? Baron Von Raschke?
In AEW?
AAWA? Baron Von Raschke's last match? Greg Gagne's last match? Rock and Roll Buck Zumhoff's last match?
Break him out of prison, just.
Shawn Michaels was in AWA, but
that's true.
He's done.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another Michaels match, but it wouldn't be like an AWA match.
Right.
It'd probably be for like the Prince of Saudi Arabia or something.
Yeah, him and Triple H.
Are we still going to see those Saudi Arabia?
I think we have to convince the Saudi Prince to put on like a nostalgia show.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Vince
lives in Jeddah.
Vince signed him up for the next 5 years, so unless they want to piss him off.
I wonder if he watched any other wrestling besides WWF.
Who, the Saudi Prince?
It's a good question.
Probably
If
not.
he did, maybe you could convince him to do like a WCW show or probably not though. Like you said, seemed like he just was really into like the top guys.
Yeah, Saturday night. You gotta think national TV. I mean, if it's, I'm pretty sure he was able to get like maybe WWF, WWE over there, but not really.
Because I think Devon Eric's was big back, but that was probably before his day. Because they were like big in like Israel for some reason.
I think World Class and AWA would be two brands I'd love to see why not. But there was anybody like, it doesn't even have to be today, just like in general, like if anybody was still alive years ago.
Yeah, let me have Kevin Von Erich.
Exactly. You could have him and his sons do something like they did recently on Jim Crockett.
Yeah. You have Michael Hayes.
Mm-hmm.
Just Michael Hayes.
Yeah, the greatest mind in all.
Well, Buddy Roberts.
Well, he's not alive.
Oh wait, sorry. Who was the other? Jimmy Garvin. So that's what I meant.
Yeah, but he wasn't part of the actual Freebirds.
Sure.
He was in WCW's first.
Yeah, but revisionist history.
Yeah, the Saudi Prince doesn't know that.
That's true. They just make up people and put in there.
Here's Yokozuna right here.
What happened to the fake Yokozuna? We should get him on. That'd be kind of cool. Just call him the fake Yokozuna.
I think they left him in Saudi Arabia.
He's still there.
He's still eating Choco Nabe with the Prince.
I have to look him and look this guy up though. Maybe it would be fun. I'd like to hear the story if he has any cool stories of being like how it even came about. Like just try to pretend you're Yokozuna or what? Yeah, hear the story.
They're gonna bring back the Renegade to be the Ultimate Warrior.
And he's dead too, unfortunately.
Thoughts and prayers.
I do like the new Edge shirt though. I'll say that. It's like the fire demon.
The fiery semen. I mean,
I was gonna make hot sauce once and call it demon semen.
What stopped you?
I don't know.
You better trademark it
I
quick.
came to my senses. I don't know.
Indigestion.
I don't know. Would you buy it? Nasty Deal's demon semen. Like a white hot sauce.
Taquitos.
It'd be cool just to put up on the bookshelf.
Yeah, it'd be cool as a prop.
Yeah.
But it'd probably be like as bad as JR's barbecue sauce.
I always remember we went to the thing. It was JR Saucet, and they billed it as he was just like grilling stuff, but that was a lie. So it was a barbecue from the hotel, which whatever. And then they said, like, I saw they had big vats of barbecue sauce and just said barbecue sauce. It was just something that they buy for the hotel, and they just were dipping it in just plain old generic barbecue sauce. It's just all lies. When he wasn't even there.
Damn.
They charge you like $50.
They didn't even
Big
put
work.
the fake JR up.
No.
No body doubles.
No. I do think his Chipotle ketchup's pretty good. I haven't. Does he still sell the bar? He doesn't like pitch it all the time like he used to.
I'm sure he does. He might not be in, in direct
He
control
probably
of
makes
it.
enough
He
money.
hides it under his hat.
Just, there you go.
Here's a business card, son.
It's probably why he can't stay
Tony,
focused.
Tony, everyone knows he was a barista. Tony Schiavone should start selling some coffee.
Just on a show.
Yeah, I'd be like, don't forget to go and get some Schiavone roasted coffee. Whole bean brown.
I mean,
They
I guess
should
that could
They
work.
should have did a segment like that where he's getting Britt Baker for coffee. Like,
Yeah, I was
every
gonna
once
say
in a while.
him being like a coffee boy would be funny. But
I would buy like Tony Schiavone brand coffee beans.
Yeah, coffee mugs that they could sell that.
Coffee
with
mug,
Tony
yeah.
Schiavone.
But like they sell a lot of coffee beans now that in the horror world that have, because I have some upstairs and I kept the bags because I thought I'd put them down here, like I'd put some kind of weight in them. But I have like Elvira coffee and Kane Hodder and Robert. The first one I got was Robert England's. It was actually really good. They called it
This is
like
the best brew in the history of our sport.
they said it had like extra caffeine in it, so you never sleep again coffee or something.
never sleep again.
It was good, dude. All right. Anything else before we wrap it up? I had fun. I'm glad I ended up doing the show. I feel pretty good. I was kind of sick. I slept for like 14 hours, but this last week it was very odd. I didn't get much sleep a lot of days.
Oh, I got a question.
What's that?
Cold brew or iced?
Oh, cold brew. I prefer hot, but if you are going to drink cold coffee, definitely cold brew.
Which brand? Like chain store brand? Do you like Starbucks, Dunkin'?
Starbucks, much better.
Okay.
I'm in Massachusetts, so that's like everyone would yell at me because they think Dunkin's the greatest, but I don't think Dunkin' Donuts is very good coffee. Especially once I started drinking black coffee, because then you really notice the difference of how coffee tastes. And the regular Dunkin' Donuts, it's a light roast, and it's very bland if you drink it black.
Yeah.
I say Starbucks good. All right. I actually, to show a big coffee snob I am, I have the Panera app because it's like $7 a month and you get unlimited coffee. So I just go boom. They used to let you refill, like, because I carry a thermos with me that I have filled with coffee at all times. And they used to let you just fill up your own stuff, but during COVID they stopped that. So anyway, you'd go in, fill up my coffee, boom.
Now you fill it up with demon semen.
Fucking
Nice.
caffeinated constantly.
I found the
That's
fake
your
Yokozuna. Yeah.
Hiroki Sumi.
He only had one match.
What is he? Is he just like some guy who he's probably just works in, like, he's selling shirts or something. They probably went to the warehouse, the WWE shop zone. They'll look around like, well, that guy, come over here. Like, you want to be a wrestler? Just pretend you're Yokozuna for the night. We'll give you a couple grand. Like,
I know, right?
say-
That's one hell of a payday. You get a free trip across the world.
How can he have never wrestled before?
Hiroki in the Hall of Fame.
This is just all
Calling it now.
Yeah, this guy should be in the IOH 500 at least.
I agree. He might be top 20. I will say this. I think he should
Top
be top
400.
250.
One
I think that's fair.
one pay-per-view.
It's just one match. That was his whole career.
White Fuji Hiroki is a Japanese former Grand Sumo wrestler. He belonged to Nakamura Room. Now it's a professional wrestler.
Now,
Hygo Perfector Kobe City Hygo Ward. That's his real name?
did you make that up?
His real name's like 50 words. It's Hygo Prefecture Kobe City Hygo Ward. That can't be the real name.
That might be a stage name because some sumo fighters have stage names.
Oh, his real name is Hiroki Hozuki.
See,
Yeah, that sounds weird.
He made that was his debut. Yeah, so his debut was on. Well, how come they didn't bill that as his last match? Ric Flair got a whole pay-per-view.
You mean Yokozuna's last match?
Yeah.
Yokozuna Jr.
What this guy's doing?
Yeah, who knows? He might be back in, I don't know, Japan or whatever.
We're
He's
gonna
even
call up
Japanese.
Conrad.
I wonder if he even speaks English.
Let's get Sony Ono to connect.
Fuck, Conrad, we're getting him on in your head. Good Lord.
Exactly.
Guy's like a fucking double. I think Stellar Stevens a double agent for Conrad here.
He
I was
doesn't.
gonna
Well, I am a simp for William Regal.
You speak Japanese, don't you, Stellar?
No.
What the? How are you gonna get the Japanese ladies? You don't even speak the goddamn language.
I was gonna talk to Sony Ono about it.
I think I found
Sonny Ono.
Sonny Ono unfriended me on Facebook.
Damn.
I'm really upset about this.
How come? I thought that was a good interview.
I did too. He liked. I don't know. It was recent.
He probably saw the rest of the show. Like, fuck.
I think this is him.
Oh shit. He's got one mutual friend. Who's that?
The guy that enters always bashing on the show. Our friend that has the face
The
tattoo.
tattoos. Oh man.
Think your head.
He's the dangerous guy who's gonna kill him.
I gotta remember him for the 500. He's a good guy. Enters always bashing him.
I only speak tag along, which is a Filipino.
I thought that was a Girl Scout cookie.
Yeah, there he is.
Look
Yeah,
at
that's
Yokozuna looking so healthy.
Oh, hot damn! Yeah, look at he's a fisherman.
Big fish.
He kind of looks like Papacito there.
With the Domino's hat. Yeah.
Oh,
Look
my-
at man. He was like a big time football. I don't even know if this is the real guy, but
He's got the name, so it's got to be him.
let's get him on anyway. Well, the fake Yokozuna.
The fake,
We'll ask
fake
him about
Yokozuna.
fishing.
Jesus.
Next week, fake thing.
Just ask him about his one match. Like, how did you prepare for your one match?
Do you miss wrestling?
I don't know.
Do you miss?
If he doesn't speak English.
What's your
that's-
favorite memory of walking to the ring?
So who did he
Listen.
wrestle? Who did he wrestle?
No,
He was in the
He
Royal
was
Rumble.
in the greatest Royal Rumble of all time.
And
Yeah.
Braun Strowman won that.
So he's got a lot of names to work with there.
Well, I don't remember him.
Yeah,
Of course,
he was just
nobody
in it real
remembers.
quick as they
He had a Hall of Fame
just
career.
got a random sumo guy to be like the fake Yokozuna.
Yeah, he just ran in. I don't think he eliminated anybody. He just got in.
We were like, who the hell is this guy? And then afterwards, the story came out that the Saudi prince wanted Yokozuna in
Yeah.
him and the Ultimate Warrior.
We should book him versus Nick Gage.
Oh hell yeah. That'll be a bloodbath.
All right, well that was good. I'm gonna try to work on this guy.
Yeah.
Try to get him on the show.
Let's
Grab
make
a
it
hold.
happen.
We used to get Nick Bockwinkel on. Now we're gonna have the fake Yokozuna.
The story of how he got recruited. That
His talk has only gone
I
on.
honestly
That
think
would
it'd
be
be a fun
worth it.
interview. Well, it has
Yeah.
potential to be a fun interview. Yeah,
maybe a fun 10 minutes.
I'll just make stuff up. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually, I
Just
know
start
a Jap-
asking him about Yokozuna's career.
I actually
Just think he's Yokozuna.
I know a Japanese photographer, Fumi, that might be able to translate
The
for you.
weird part is the real Yokozuna wasn't even Japanese, but
All right. Yeah,
It is.
Samoa.
Right, he was at Hawaii.
He just randomly screams Samoa. Yeah, Samoa. It's like I thought he
Freaking
was
John
Japanese.
John Tenta was more Japanese than Yokozuna.
Contenta's a good man. But speaking of AWA, Stellar, I remember watching Yokozuna before he went to before he was Yokozuna in the dying days of the AWA is Coquina Maximus.
I forgot he wrestled there.
Yeah, he was very impressive. Wasn't nearly as big.
I used to see the reruns on ESPN late at night.
Yeah, then the last days when they were doing that no Team Wars stuff, that was really poor stuff. And like Jake the Milkman Milligan, they were like pushing him because everyone kept leaving.
The Milkman.
Yeah. I wonder if he's still alive, Jake Milliman.
Kurt Angle took his gimmick.
Yeah, he's still alive. I wonder if we can fight Jake the Milkman Milliman. Huh. Yeah, they could because everyone kept leaving the AWA because it was dying. So then they end up pushing Jake Milliman, and then he won this team tournament they were doing, and he won like a big turkey.
A turkey. That was their title.
Yeah, I'm serious.
The Jive Turkey Bowl.
And it was a raw. Look, I found a picture. It was a raw turkey. He had to like climb like a pole.
It wasn't a gooker, was it?
Did he start eating it? Like no,
no, he went like a raw, and they just had it in like this building with like just fake walls because no one was buying tickets anymore. It was really sad the last days of AWA.
Damn.
He literally won just like a raw frozen turkey.
The Matt Taven of
Like,
AEW.
I can go home and make dinner for my family now. So bad. But yeah, he'd be a good guest.
So how was that turkey?
I think he was a big influence on Bastion Booger, if I'm not mistaken.
Bastion Booger, I mean, was a big name wrestler before he was Bastion Booger.
Yeah, I was joking. The whole
Yeah,
turkey thing.
I am kind of surprised that Vince didn't pick him up. I mean, he's a person about those kind of gimmicks, the Milkman.
Oh, hey, Jack,
yeah.
you ever see that Fryer?
I guess he did
anywhere?
wrestle. Actually, he did wrestle in WWF, but he wasn't using the Milkman. But I see a Hart Foundation versus Jake Milliman and Boris Zukov in the WWF.
Oh, enhancement.
Yeah. What are you saying? Sorry.
Oh yeah, he was the Fryer, wasn't he? Mike Shaw.
Yeah, they brought him in first as Friar Ferguson.
Yeah, that's right.
And I don't know why they didn't. I actually I remember it being like, I don't know, I was either late teens or 20s and just getting a kick out of how stupid it was. But
you ever interview him?
no, he. I actually tried getting him on in the early days of In Your Head. We just never worked out. Then he died. Here's a better picture of turkey.
Yeah, that turkey don't look too appetizing.
He's just gonna get turkey in his beard, save it for later.
Yikes!
Poor
I
Mel.
love that salmonella. Yikes!
Makes the flavor of it better.
Oh man, here he is, like a current, not or semi-current anywhere. Hold on, a semi-recent picture of him wrestling. He's in better shape now than he was then. He's this guy here with the big white beard.
Yeah, he's a
He
wizard.
just always carried a turkey to the ring though afterwards.
That would be cool.
This
is the prize turkey I want in AWA.
I gotta find Jake Milliman now. I want him and the fake Yoko on.
He was the original Viking Raider.
He does look that. They could bring him in as the dad or something. He could be
Viking
like
Raider
old,
Senior.
Yeah, or just they would be cool if they had like an old guy with them who's like a sightseer or something, and he has like all the
An oracle.
Yeah, you have like a severed head with them or something. All right.
The King Curtis.
That gimmick's so weird in modern day. These guys are just Vikings.
Hell, maybe they might go back to being the War Raiders or whatever, thanks to Vince being gone.
That would be something I would like too, is if they actually, because they've never, besides like every once in a while, they would, like when the Hardys and the Dudleys, like for a little bit, they never really pushed tag teams as a big deal. And I like tag team wrestling. So maybe that's something we would see in WWE, modern WWE, is like an actual tag division. That would be good. It also makes sense when you have such a big roster. You split up some people into teams, and
we'll see. I mean, we'll see what Triple H is up to.
Yeah. It might just go to shit.
The dying days of WWE. Who knows?
They're gonna bring in Jake Milliman.
Yeah, he's gonna win a turkey again.
Oh, favorite AWA interview? It's gotta be Bob Nickel, I think.
What was that? Sorry.
Favorite AWA guy that you interviewed? I would assume it's Bockwinkel.
Bockwinkel's really good. Honestly, the Greg Gagne interview is really good.
All right, I gotta check that out.
I think that's one of Clinton's favorites. It is a good interview. Trying to think. I like Baron von Raschke, but he's not a particularly good interview. I don't want to say Buck Zumhoff. We had Mean Gene, but it was so short because it was part of the other thing. I can't remember. I'm trying to remember other people, because some of the people like were in AWA, but I don't really consider him like an AWA guy. You know, like Road Warrior, Animal, or something. Nick or Greg probably. They'd have to be up there.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Greg Gagne one's good. I can't. I know another one's really good too. One of the commentators, Larry Nelson.
All right, I'm going to find that.
That's a good one too. That's a really fun interview. All right. I should look to try to get some more people on. I do enjoy the interviews. All right. Everybody else set? Gonna get out of here. Do it up. I think that's what Larry Nelson says. I remember his liner being really funny. I can't remember what he says. I remember we were gonna have God, what's the guy's name? He used to do the Nitro reports, like the road reports. He was the voice of Tony the Tiger. He was a commentator in AWA and then WCW for a while. We were gonna have him on, but he was a real pain in the ass. But he had all these demands to come on.
I got a question. Ric Flair has a wing shop. Would you go to one if close by?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And do you think it'd be better than
take pictures?
I wish I could have seen Abdullah's House of Ribs. I wonder like how they compare.
Yeah, I wish we would have gone too. I remember when we were at Atlanta for one of the fan fest that we went to Atlanta. We were gonna go for some reason. We did. I'm not sure if it was far away or what, but I would have liked to gone. Just the idea to say I went to it, you know.
Right. It seems like restaurants are popular in Japan, but it's interesting that we're getting a lot of them now in the States.
Yeah, if I ever went to Japan, I would like to go to Ribera Steakhouse.
Mm-hmm.
I hear it's not particularly good, but I would like to just go there.
Yeah, I think Yano has a bar. There's a lot of wrestlers have places like that, just restaurants and bars.
All right. Well, if anyone out there has any place that they think I should go, London, I'll only be there 3 days, but I'll be in Soho area. Let me know.
Food report.
Yeah. Where am I going to go? Nikhil and Dobbs are going to take me somewhere good. Last time Dobbs took us for fish and chips. That was fun. But Bearded Incher, he bitched out. He wouldn't go with me this year.
Damn.
I couldn't find anyone to go with me. They're all a bunch of losers.
They're afraid. They don't want to get
Like, what the hell? You can't just fly to England the last minute?
Yeah, what the fuck, man? Just tell your job, shut the hell up, and
Yeah, what the hell?
go ahead and fly out.
All
The hell's wrong with you?
But I will be I can't say where, but I will be going to. I do know some upcoming festivals. I can't say where they are yet in the states that I'll be going to. So it'll be exciting. Hopefully, I'll go to somewhere around people, and you can come and buy me food or something. You don't have to buy me anything. We come.
I'll buy you food if you come close to me.
I
Cup of
appreciate.
coffee.
Yeah, I like coffee.
Some Shivani coffee.
I'm telling you, Tony Schiavone, I think he'd make a killing. I'd buy it. You'd make at least $10 from me.
Mhm.
$10.
I think he should have like a Tony Schiavone mug with him and Kiss paint. That'd be kind of funny if he could work out a trademark with them.
I said, do it up. I should get some coffee. Jackie Jones brew. You drink the coffee, Jonathan Jackson?
Caffeine
What?
doesn't work for me. If anything, it puts me to sleep, to be honest with you.
I think
Doesn't do anything.
I think Glacier should have a cold brew. That'd be kind of on brand.
What do you drink?
Water.
Why can't I sell Jackie Jones brand water?
Yeah, just do it, man.
I have some water.
Gamer guy bathwater.
Yeah, there you go.
I've got water, coffee, and
Bearded Incher water.
Powerade. I'm a very thirsty man here.
I mean, I got a few suggestions from Piss Jug McGee, but other than that, I mean, I'm all about the water, man.
I do drink a lot of water. I usually drink water, seltzer, and black coffee. I like my coffee like I like my Jonathan Jacksons. Hot and black.
And Jewish.
What?
Mazel tov.
All right, cool.
He's an Israelite, get it?
Goddamn. White Devils. All right.
All right, let's get out of here, boys. Had a good time. Thank you, everyone, for calling in. I was sick. I was thinking not doing it, but it was good seeing everybody. I had a fun
What's your
time.
coffee?
And I'll talk to you guys next week. We'll be back on Tuesday. Intro will be back. Him and Juju are doing the whoop, whoop, whoop right now, I believe.
That's what's going on.
Yeah. All right. Hopefully they're having safety. Maybe we'll have some little Jujus and intros popping around. Oh.
Sounds like a telegram.
Yeah. All right. Good night, everybody. I don't know if that's happening.
Night.
Bye, everybody.